Hello, welcome back to another episode of Two Dudes Drinking Beer. My name is Josh.
My name is Alec.
And with us today we have a special guest.
My name's Jacob Sturgis. What's going on, guys?
You shouldn't have gave your real name or your full name.
My name is 10-inch Tim. What's going on, guys?
Why is that 10-inch Tim?
Nothing goes with Jake. Gigantic Jake. Oh,
Here's
thanks, brother.
your drink of choice. Alec,
Russell Jimmy Jakes. Russell Jake Jimmy's.
Alec, we got a couple flavors here. I got lime, grapefruit, pomegranate, and blackberry. What do you want?
Blackberry. Today we are drinking another salsa water called Press. And it was between this and Beck's today, so we decided to not drink a shitty beer.
I've heard of Beck's, but never ever had Beck's.
Never had Beck's either, and I wanted to roll the dice with some carbonated alcohol drink.
What's that for you?
Thanks, brother. And these guys, they tried to force me to drink beer, but I told them it's called Two Dudes Drinking Beer, so I can't.
Yeah. We did everything we could in our power. But Jacob, go ahead and tell the people who you are and what you do and all your kinky fetishes that you told me over text.
All right, well, first kinky fetish is feet, but not just regular feet, 3 feet. You know, it's got to be the irradiated bitches from like... I'm not going to start naming countries. That'll get me in trouble. So my name's Jacob. I'm a local here. I grew up in Thousand Oaks, but 2 years ago I moved out into Camarillo. I've just been there ever since.
Where'd you go to high school?
So I went to Westlake. You went to Westlake too, right?
Sure did. We all did.
Oh, you did too?
We all went to
it's a small ass world.
Well, look at us. Oh, Westlake
And
kids
not
in
enough
Camarillo.
feet.
That's right. Amen, brother. End of podcast. It's not getting any better
Thanks for
than
tuning in, drinking beer with us today.
that. Right. All right, so what year did you graduate?
14.
14? Oh, okay. And you're 13, right?
I'm actually 25.
Right on.
Graduation year, asshole.
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely graduated in 2013.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Man, I don't miss Westlake. I just
At
wish
all.
I did things better there. Or, maybe...
Dude, here's the thing. I was never fully conscious of, like, the ecosystem. And, like, growing up a little bit, it's like, oh, what? I could have just done whatever I wanted.
Yeah, right?
Well, high school's a joke like that. Like academics, it doesn't matter. Everyone basically... It's really hard to fail high school.
Oh, yeah.
Damn near impossible. There was a kid in our class. He was a super senior. Like, one of the only ones. I didn't think it was possible. He's the only dude I've ever seen get held back. In high school, bro. And like, I don't remember his name.
Names?
I don't remember his name. But
I'm tempted to, but I don't know if that's like libel or slander.
if you want, do you know who I'm talking about?
Fact.
Okay, is his name Michael?
Something like that, probably.
And his last name Lacey? I hope he's not. I'm sure he's
Michael
listening right now.
No, I do remember that kid though.
I remember him. He and we were feuding one time. So I was in track. I was in track and field, 9th grade.
I love that you just get rolling.
Oh yeah. I like Oscar said. All right. So for those of you who don't know, which is probably everyone listening, I know these dudes by proxy through Oscar Martinez, who's on a few episodes, right? More than one or just one?
Just one.
He's just been
Okay.
on one.
Yeah. Well, we got to bring him back once he's back from San Diego or whatever.
We will.
But yeah, no, that guy, he and I, we go way back. I went to elementary school with him. We've been friends for quite a while. I went to Kalina, so I went the whole Westlake route after elementary school, but that was totally like a TO high, like school, like feeder. So yeah, we never really lost touch, but we definitely stopped seeing each other in person so much.
I'm just gonna
Sorry,
move that a little. No,
gotta get that.
that's me.
All right. Where was I going?
Went to Kalina, the Westlake track.
You were feuding with Michael Lacey.
That's right. Thank you. I don't know how that got to Oscar, but yeah. So I was on the Westlake track team. I was forced to go there. Do you guys remember Lupe's, the Mexican restaurant?
In the promenade?
No, it was on T.O. Boulevard, right across from where 7-Eleven is.
Which one?
In T.O.?
Yeah, on T.O. Boulevard.
I've never been
What's
to
the cross
Lupe's.
street?
Yeah.
Across street. So
It's by fucking...
not Los.
It's I know
Feliz
I know what you're talking about. It's close to the lakes.
Yeah, very close. So,
I've never been there.
Oh, that's surprising. Well,
It's really good.
Yeah, well, it's been gone for a few years now, but my mom
Rest
was like
in peace.
the waitress there. Apparently, she was
The
like
waitress?
Yeah, no, like everyone's
You
like
come to school and they're like, Jacob,
Pretty much.
your mom is the waitress everyone wants to sleep with. And you're like, what?
Not that waitress. No, they all. She was the youngest of the oldest, if that makes sense. Everyone was like
Gotcha.
50 and above, and she was like 40. So good for her.
So she, dope.
So I guess that makes her the barely legal one of.
Nice.
Yeah.
So mom, if you're listening to this podcast, I apologize, but
No,
no,
mom was the girl next door at Lupe's.
yeah, exactly.
Jacob's mom has got it going on.
Oh well, it was her birthday yesterday, by the way. So happy birthday, mom! 51.
Happy birthday, 51.
This is your present because I didn't get her anything yet.
Just terrify her and have her drop dead from a heart attack.
Oh God,
That's my boy on the podcast.
No, she'd probably be pretty ecstatic about it. But she worked there. The reason I got into track, this is okay. So I'm a pretty lazy guy, honestly. Like I don't know how I've made it this far, especially because
Just in life.
Yeah, I live alone and I pay my own bills. I don't know how that happened. I think I just woke up one day and I was already there. But so she worked there, and so that was the it place, I guess. It's kind of like what retired people go to. I mean, it's like white people Mexican food. It was good. I'm a white person who likes Mexican food, so
You checked all the boxes.
So I ain't complaining. So yeah, it was a good place. So she was the waitress there, and naturally she's always talking about her beautiful son, and I'm a ninth grader at Westlake at this point, and the track coach is Mr. Snyder, and his wife Mrs. Snyder, and then his son Mr. Snyder, and
Nice.
all the Snyders, and they would go to Lupe's like 3 times a week, sometimes 4. They were regulars there, and
That would bug me if I knew a teacher was like that close to my parents at any time.
Oh yeah, and so she's just like,
Get a life.
Yeah, and I was doing, again, like I said, I'm a lazy guy, so I was just content with doing PE, and I was like the all-star PE because I'm lazy, but I guess
You were
I'm
the dodgeballer.
Oh yeah, I was. I'm the best of the worst, let's just say, because while they were just barely getting their 9-minute miles, I was doing 7-minute miles.
Damn.
Yeah, and then so my mom, she was telling my future coach, not coach yet. She's like, oh, you should get my son in that. He's like, well, it's not up to me, it's up to him. So and she's like, all right, let me just sign him up right now. And I assume he just had the papers on him because next thing
He
I
just
know,
pulls it out of his fanny pack.
for sure, these guys whipping it out of his ass.
He's like, this is my suntan lotion. I wear this on the track. This is my straw hat. I use it to cover myself
for
from
sure,
the
yeah.
sun.
And so you whipped that out. That was probably his tip that day. Like, here's the papers. And so next thing I know, I was forced to go to the meeting so I could join track. And again, I probably wasn't doing 7-minute miles then. I was probably doing 9, and everyone else is doing 11. Sorry.
But I mean, if you run every day, you get a little better at it.
Yeah. So next thing I know, I was already in high school, especially. I was pretty skinny, but now I'm doing literal 10 miles a day. So I was about the same height I am now. Around 6 feet. I was probably 5'11" back then, and I weighed 150. It was bad.
Yeah,
and that's not shape. That's not a good shape.
If you see anyone who runs track or marathons or anything, they're always skeletons. Mm-hmm. And it's because the way yeah, I'm gonna sample that later. It's because the way the body deals with it is it tries to be an endurance instead of a fighter with muscle. It realizes it needs to run longer instead of shorter.
For sure, yeah. And a big thing, so it's good for weight loss, obviously, but it's also bad in the sense that your body's like, okay, I got nothing. You don't look healthy. Yeah, I got nothing, so it starts burning your muscle. And I was gifted genetically with I got big legs. No one else on the team had big legs. They all chicken legs, scrawny bitches. So again, now I'm the king of the losers again.
Nice.
Hopefully they're not listeners of your show. Well, hopefully eventually.
Hopefully they are listeners to our show and they just don't like you and they're cool with us.
You know what? It's possible. It's probable. But yeah, so to circle back to Michael Lacey. So he was
You were feuding.
Yeah, so he's the same age as, actually no, so he's the same grade as us, not the same age. Key difference. So he was a year or two younger. And I just remember, I don't know what it was. I think he was just trying to be cool. I could pick on the freshmen too, even though I am one, technically. And so he was telling, all his varsity friends, because he was fast. I'm not, I'll talk crap about him, but as far as skill goes, he was a skilled runner.
Gotta respect it.
Yeah. So, he was hanging with the varsity kids, and he was, again, not quite my age, but my age. And so I don't know how it began necessarily. I think because, depending on my situation, I'm either oh yes sir whatever bend over person or shut the fuck up type person. We're allowed to cuss on this, right? This is not a Christian podcast.
It's 18 plus, but
okay, yeah, 17 plus and
ideally 21 plus, but
and 16 plus in Germany or whatever.
It's not kid friendly.
As soon as you cross the American border, we don't really
It's blocked in your
know
region.
the laws. Yeah, we're sure we're blocked in a few countries.
I hope so. That's how you know you made it, if you're being censored in China.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so Michael, like, for whatever, I think it just got to the point where he was making these annoying noises, and like he would do this stupid shit where he'd do like a hit and run, like literal hit, like he'd punch you and then run, and because he had faith that he was faster than you, you know, and like
What a chicken shit thing to do,
Yeah,
too.
right?
Like,
and I think my favorite thing is, so we would, God, I just feel mad. I just feel like mean for even bringing
Get it
this up because
out.
he's not here to defend himself.
So,
Doesn't matter.
I mean, you
we
know,
have
Does
a
not
comment
matter.
section. Fuck him.
Okay, here. Okay,
Send this to him.
He could air it out.
I'm just talking the facts. I'm not going to say anything mean about his character that he can't defend himself. I'm just going to say what actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, maybe next guest he'll be here and he could talk shit about me. That's cool. You got it. I
Let's
believe
do
it.
it.
And we're not even bad anymore, so maybe I should. But it's too late. I'm balls deep in this story, so we got to keep going. All right, so I remember it was like a rainy day. You know, it doesn't even rain around here, but it was a rainy day this time, and I think I just like tipped the edge to this guy, and I pissed him off so bad, probably insulting his intelligence, something, you know, because I'm pretty good about that. I'm pretty witty. I'm pretty good with words. So if you say something with me, it's like step on me, you get stepped on. And like he said something, and I don't know. I wish this were better. I wish this were a better story that I could really tell you what like the exact words that were exchanged between us. But I just burnt him in front of everyone. It was kind of like even his friends were like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, and then this was like right before track, you know, like practice started. And I just remember somebody was playing, what's that called? Like butts up or whatever. You throw a tennis ball against the wall or whatever. He like ran in the middle of it, caught it. And I'm just like chilling with friends. And he runs up to me and he just throws it as hard as he can right at me. Hit me in the leg. It's a tennis ball. It doesn't hurt that bad. And then,
Dude,
like,
track runners throw like girls. I hear they throw like girls.
yeah. Again, like I like to think of myself as naturally athletic because I played baseball growing up. My uncle, shout out to Uncle Brian, he played
Brian.
professional. Yeah, I know he's listening. He played professionally, so I think it's just in my genetics.
On what team?
I want to say the Marlins or something like that. Yeah, like he was in minor league, so he never went to major league because he had a kid, and I think he kind of just gave up on it.
Kids ruin everything.
Oh, they sure do.
Yep.
So,
Sorry for your loss.
yeah, shout out to Miller, his kid. I know he's listening too. Everyone's gonna listen after this. So
Shout out to Miller and the whole family.
the whole Sturgis family. But yeah, so back to that girl throwing little midget. He throws he throws the
Almost
tennis
spit on
ball.
my microphone.
I'm here to ruin the mics. All right,
You're gonna do it.
So he throws the tennis ball as hard as he can at me, and you know it's a tennis ball, so how hard can you really throw it?
It just bounces off
Yeah,
you.
so it hit me and it's like, oh, that's a sting. I was like, all right, that's it. I'm chasing this guy. I mean, I could sprint pretty fast. Maybe in the long run, it's a distance. You know, we were all on distance track.
It is a distance.
He'd lose me in the long run, but I could probably catch up. And as soon as I ran, he went to turn around, slipped on the basketball court, fell right on his ass, and was just down. I was like, wow, I beat
Because he
this-
didn't have his track spikes or whatever they are.
I took that as a W for me. I was like, I want to fight without even laying a hand on him. And like all my friends are like, hey, I just want to say you're a good guy because anyone else would have kicked him on the ground. I'm like, that's shameful.
That's
but
such a low bar.
It did cross my mind. And again, like,
That's such a low bar to where it's just like, hey, you know that guy who's an asshole and threw a tennis ball at you? Everyone else on the team wants to kick him while he was down.
Yeah.
And you didn't.
and I had every opportunity, I had every reason to. But again, like, I don't really let words bother me too much. But like, a physical object's a different story, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, I think after that we actually were kind of cool. So I think it's kind of like fight and
Well,
make
yeah,
up.
because it's the assertion of dominance. Once that's he's like, oh, if I throw a tennis ball at you, you're gonna chase me, and if I fall down again, and everyone wants to kick me,
yeah, apparently.
probably not a situation I should be putting myself in.
Yeah, no, but and my sister, to even just add fuel to the fire on that guy, she's like, do you know a guy named Michael Lacey? I was like, yeah, why? He's like, he's an idiot and a racist. Like, what makes you say that? He's like, okay, so he's in my cooking class. So he was that senior in cooking class, which obviously, you know, senior year, nothing wrong with, like, you know, getting easy classes, but like, I think he was repeating cooking.
He failed cooking class.
It was so easy.
Okay, this is to pause that. This is the worst thing. God, this is slander. You're not gonna get sued by me 20 years from now. You're gonna get sued by
They're gonna sue you.
Yeah,
we're good.
yeah. So
We got lawyers.
He his last name being Lacey, and he failed the Casey. You know, like the exam that
The California
Oh,
state
yeah.
exam.
that you just have to put your name and pass.
So
Oh god,
it's literally an instance of he replaces the K and took the L.
exactly. And
Or it's CA.
yeah, well, I like his.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
he still got the L though. Let's
yeah.
just
So
say.
that's the takeaway.
But she's just like, yeah, he's just in my cooking class, and he told me that, like, just at random, he's like, I really don't like black people. And she's like, why? And my sister, love her so much, but she's kind of like that half like Tumblr person, like stands up for equality.
I feel like there was a racist teacher there too. Do you remember Miss Conti?
I remember of her. What did she teach? She was
like
teacher?
English.
Oh, English. I never had her.
She Rydell and DeAndre had her, and
I love Rydell. I miss that kid.
I know. Yeah, we just had DeAndre on the podcast. We're gonna try and get Rydell. But basically, they were telling me one day they were reading a book. I forgot which one it was. It's like Probably to Kill a Mockingbird because it had the N word in it, and that was a big deal. And she kept saying it like flagrantly or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then as an example for like a sentence structure, she was describing a word that it's like if someone uses like slang or something, mm-hmm. and she wrote on the board, "Please don't whips me, massa," and then she goes,
"That's clever."
Dash, I feel like an idiot.
That's all right. You can edit this later.
No, we don't edit it. I just have to soak up the stupid. The one who helped the Underground Railroad.
Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman. There it is. And then she quoted Harriet Tubman saying that.
Oh, God.
And then Rydell was like, yo, what the fuck? And she goes, Rydell, no cussing in my room. And he goes, why'd you quote Harriet Tubman saying that? And she goes, what, you think she never said that? And,
yes, because that is an argument.
This teacher's got balls.
And she probably did. She was a big woman. And basically...
she's lost another viewer. She stopped watching now.
We don't need racists or anybody from that side. But from that day, he tried every day to make her cry, and he was successful. Like,
good for him.
4 out of 5 days a week. It was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's an 80%. That's passing.
Yeah,
that's a B minus.
Yeah.
That's a good grade.
you were able to win by not kicking him while he was down. He was able to win by making this bitch cry and hate her life. So
I remember my friend was in the office way back in the Kalina days. What's Rydell's brother's name?
Rashawn.
Rashawn. Yeah. Okay. I guess Rashawn was, God.
He just stopped showing up, like...
Really?
Yeah.
Kalina?
No, high school.
Oh, really?
He was like a sophomore. He just stopped coming to school, and then...
Good for him. What a baller.
Yeah, I mean, he just started getting money, so he's like, I don't need it.
I remember I saw him at Freddy's.
Yeah.
I remember he was working there. I don't know if he recognized me or not. But he was in the principal's office or just like the little sit down bench area near the principal's office at Kalina. And my friend was in there, I think, just probably calling out or, waiting to be picked up. And I guess like he got busted because he said something, I don't know, like he punched a guy. And like the guy's like, you know what? I'm gonna call your mom. He's like, no, allow me. So he whips out his phone. He's like, yo, mom. Yeah. So this kid, he was calling me all sorts of B's and C's, and he was saying all sorts of things. He even insulted you a few times. So I punched him. Is that cool? And I guess she was cool with that.
Yeah.
That's a baller move right there too.
I mean, it was one of those things too where it's like I remember anyone who had the opportunity, they'd get in trouble. They're like, you good?
Sorry.
You gotta call your parents. And they would just call their own cell phone, and it would be on silent. And they'd be like, "Oh, she didn't answer." And the teacher would be like, "Leave a message." And then it'll be like, "Hey, mom, I just want you to know I got kicked out of class today. Give me the phone, okay? Your son was talking shit and being rude, and I just want you to know, and I hope you discipline him when he gets home." And then like we'd leave class, and he's like, "Check it out, one new message."
I had a moment similar to that. This was just like the stars aligning, God giving me a little like, all right, you get this one because so in middle school I did poorly. Like in 7th grade especially, I just like I prided myself. I still pride myself to this day as being like an intelligent guy. But middle school I was just over it. I just did not want to do it. I was like, this is not elementary school.
I love how you reach middle school and you're like, "Whoa, these guys are such idiots."
Pretty much.
I know everything.
Yeah, and so I wasn't doing well. It was history class. You went to Kalina, right?
I did.
Okay. Did you go to Kalina also?
I went to middle school in Arizona. I came here my sophomore year of high school.
Okay. And well, you did not miss out. You lucked out. Kalina was awful. So did you have Kern?
I did.
Yeah,
That's actually the teacher who made my friends call their moms, and they would just call their own pockets.
Well,
she was easy to piss off, man.
Yeah. Oh,
she was a hard hardened bitch. You know
Oh
what
yeah.
I'm saying? I don't know.
You just lost another. all the Westlake and Kalina teachers.
That's fine.
They can unsubscribe for all I care. But yeah, she did the same thing. I probably failed a test or just didn't turn in a homework assignment or something. And she's like, all right, that's it. You're going to have to call your mom. And like, this was the week my mom like stopped paying her cell phone bill or whatever. So I was even like, yeah, look, that's her real number right there. And then I'm on the phone and all I hear is like, like, we're sorry, your phone is disconnected. I'm just pretending to talk to like, hey mom, yeah, I'm so sorry. I just like didn't.
Badass.
I didn't do my homework, and I know you're just. I'm so sorry.
Do you remember Ivy Johnson, Chief?
That sounds familiar. Remind me.
The black guy from Kentucky. Played with his wiener a lot in class.
What?
No, but please don't. I feel like I would remember that, so please do remind me.
I got a few stories if you want to hear those.
Yeah, yes.
But I'll start with the phone call. Miss Fletcher was our math teacher, and I was in resource classes, so I was in basically a slowed down program. So basically, I had math periods like 1, 2, and 3, just so you can like really nail it into our retarded heads. And he was just a loudmouth, and he would like scream like puta and shit, like just random. He had like ADHD or something, and just definitely.
I mean, if he screams randomly, that's more like Tourette's.
He did it to be a piece of shit, though. He knew what he was doing.
For sure.
And
I have to look this kid up. Like once I see his
you'll
face,
know
I'll
him.
remember.
You'll recognize him. And basically, his mom would like he didn't have a cell phone because he was like one of the poor kids.
Yeah.
And
I was there too.
Yeah, I mean, same. That's probably why we're all in the same classes. But basically, his mom would like call Miss Fletcher's class just to be like, "Can I talk to my son?" And like, eventually, she's like, "Ma'am, you can't keep calling." And she went off on her and was like, "I can call my son whenever I need. I got 3 jobs and this and that," and like freaking out on her. And she goes, "Oh, Ivy, come on and talk to your mom." And he spent the entire class period on the phone, all 45 minutes, being like, "Yeah,
awesome,
yeah." And it was like a 2-second conversation. He said, he was like, "Hey, I'm not gonna be home tonight, so make sure you like find dinner or like or something like something like that." And it was just like, all right. And then he pretended to be like, "Yeah, I know." And then just like for 45 minutes, and then class ended, and she's like, "Get off the phone." That was really fun.
See, even though it was like the remedial classes, he was a smart kid apparently.
He was
street smart.
Yeah, that's street smart 100%.
Oh yeah.
But and there was another class we had. We had every class together, but there was another class. It was our math class. I don't remember the teacher's name. She ended up getting a yellow card when they did all those layoffs.
I remember some.
What does that mean?
They basically fired her because
that was like the 2008 recession, right? They just started firing everyone.
As soon as the housing market whatever dipped, they're like, "Yep," and they give everyone a yellow card, and she just like cried the entire class period.
Wait, what was that? I think I remember because I had a friend in like Creighton or whatever.
Yeah, Miss Kreitner.
Yeah.
Wow. That's 100%
I don't know why that just
right.
popped in my head, but
yeah. Well, also real quick, Miss Bodner is apparently an English teacher from Moorpark, and I didn't even realize I had her until I finished out the semester with her. But I regress
how little impact she made on you.
No, she was cool.
Oh, okay.
But Miss Kreitner, holy shit!
When did that ever happen to her?
She probably just got fired and then killed herself.
Well, hopefully not, but hopefully
not.
Is a possibility.
But, that's a sad thing.
These are all middle school teachers, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, none of these names sound familiar.
We'll get to Westlake, don't you worry.
We got time, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the Witt Academy, so all my teachers were like the same.
Shout out Mrs. Watt.
Shout out Mr. Nigro, aka Mr. Negro.
Okay.
He hated that. No, that's just what people called him.
It's high school. Everyone makes those jokes.
If that's what he
Not
was
me,
into.
No, I was nice.
But yeah, and Mrs. What was her name again?
Kreitner?
Yeah, Miss Kreitner or whatever. He sat right next to me, and Sean Tablet Talbot.
I remember him. Yeah.
He was right next to him, and Chief was in the middle, and he started doing that thing with the fingers that popped, and she was like, "Whoever's doing that right now needs to stop." I swear to God.
Showed him.
I swear to God, bro. Chief goes over and looks at me, and he's like, "Check this out." And he's wearing his PE shorts because he always got dress coded for sagging.
I like where this is going.
And he just like props up his like waist and like lifts up his pants and starts like popping his dick against his belly button.
Wow.
And it's making the loudest popping sound in the middle of class, like way louder than the noise Sean was making. And she sees him, and she sees him with his hand down his pants. And she just looks at him, looks at me, looks down, and then goes, "Okay,
God, yellow card me, please."
yeah,
And then he answered her prayer.
no, like no
Does that
points
make her a
off for
sex
anything, bro.
offender?
No, she didn't know what to do. It's a kid fucking plopping his
wouldn't
dick
either.
against his belly,
I'm on her side.
making
now.
the fucking pop, pop, pop. And it was the
you demonstrate?
loudest. Yeah, sure. Can you 10-inch Timmy?
Sure can.
And it was the loudest thing I've ever heard. And he did that like in intervals. And she knew it was him, and she'd like freeze. You'd see her whole body like, oh, like, oh, don't look, it's a little kid's penis. And it was the funniest fucking thing. And like, I felt so bad for her. Because I was like, this bitch got yellow carded and now has to tell like this little kid to stop playing with his dick in Algebra 1 classes.
This girl, she had the life.
Oh
she's
my
rich
God.
now. She went through a lot that year.
Yeah, bro,
apparently.
she was tortured.
It sounds like she deserves the world.
Yeah, well,
And that
she
was her
got a
first-
yellow card.
That was
so.
her first year too, right? That was the worst part.
Yeah,
It's like,
it was her first year, and it's like,
Well, they're always the first ones
yeah,
to go.
for sure.
'Cause
that's why she was
tenure.
crying, because she knew it. She's like, I'm definitely going to be out of here.
Well, and she was right.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
that was 8th grade, so who knows? I mean,
Yeah, I didn't stick around after.
We could ask. No, Michael Lacey was at Los Cerritos, I think. It's like he probably got held back. Let's ask him.
Those dudes, if we got Michael Lacey and Ivy Johnson in the same room, they would just fucking look at each other and like pop their penises on their stomachs, and they'd speak in Morse code through that. It's
I
like,
would-
pop, pop.
Can I be the audience when that happens?
Yeah, bro, we'll go live for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're actually trying to work on that. Get some
Oh, like an
live-
actual.
We'll
live
figure
shows
out the
going.
live aspect.
Don't you need like 1,000 subscribers and like
Nope.
100? Oh, no like requirement.
I mean, not for YouTube.
Oh,
I would
okay.
I would do it on Twitch.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the easiest.
Yeah. That would be cool, actually. Yeah, I could see this happening right now.
Yeah,
Having all these like people like giving donations. Pop your penis out.
yeah, that'd be fun. I'd do
$5
that.
is
I'm
$5.
gonna pop my penis against my belly for you guys.
That'll be $10.
Screen's gonna go dark.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get banned.
Oh, not yet. I mean, you could be Dr. Disrespect. Who even knows what that guy did this time?
Right.
Who knows?
Okay. He allegedly doesn't know, but I think he's just trying to stay quiet because as soon as it was probably because I did this, they'll be like, all right, he admitted guilt.
He knows, but
Yeah.
no one's gonna find out.
Yeah.
Like the only people who will find out why Dr. Disrespect got banned are his wife, and if someone either kidnaps her, or fucking kidnaps him, and has to like get it as like ransom.
Yep.
If you don't tell me why you were banned, I will pop your penis against your belly for the next 3 hours.
Ivy? That's good shit. That's really good.
Yeah, that's one of the most crude stories I got from middle school.
Now I'm trying to think of crude stories. I tripped, like this isn't a crude story necessarily, but in 7th grade, who was that PE teacher? He was kind of short. That's all I remember. He was a guy and he was short. He looked like a man. But
He
just
looked
like
buff, right?
Yeah,
Like
5'4" or something like that.
Yeah, I remember him. I never had him.
Yeah, I didn't
I had
either.
Miss Clee and Mr. McGorian. I remember those names,
Mr.
but I don't remember
Megorian.
the other dude.
I just was lined up for PE in 7th grade, and I think I was just stretching my leg, growing pains. It's my growth spurt back then, and he just walked by, I tripped him, and he just falls face first. And I just remember his look when he like looked up to see who did that, and he sees me, just this sweet little boy, like totally, like he could tell probably by my face that I did not mean to intentionally trip him. His anger reluctantly went away because he was like ready to just choose someone out. But
Good thing it was a short fall.
yeah, right. But I just remember I was like, I could play this off like, oh, I'm so sorry, or I could.
Wait, you did it on purpose?
No, I legitimately was just stretching my legs, but
You're like, this motherfucker gave me a B, and I ran a 7-minute mile in 30 seconds. That's a B in your eyes, bitch.
yeah, right. No, in middle school, man, I was probably running like 9-minute miles. I only started running good miles once I was forced to run 10 miles a day. Then
That's insane.
Yeah, my fastest was like 5:54. I was
Jesus.
and that's one of the slower times. I was like the kid that didn't try, and I still sub 6.
That's insane.
Yeah, I've been trying to run lately. You know, get some of this freshman 15 out, even though I'm a senior in college. Senior 17.
16?
Yeah, yeah, and it's not fun. It really isn't.
What are you going to college for?
I'm doing communication. I used to be a film major. You know, that's how I recognize this handsome guy. Didn't really care much. Oh my gosh, you want to lose some more subscribers? I could talk some shit about those guys.
The only people, I mean, I don't think he watches it anymore, but Michael Wilkins, Mr. Grimes.
Mr. Grimes, yeah. Okay, which is his real name?
No one knows. You need to kidnap him and take his driver's license. I think it's Wilkins though.
Kidnap him and pop your penis against your belly for 3 hours until he talks.
I think I don't think he watches it anymore, but he gave us a whole lot of advice in like the first 3 episodes.
I like
He
that
probably
guy.
stopped because he was like, they're not following any of my goddamn advice. Fuck
Do
these
it in a
people.
British accent. Huh? Do it in a British accent. He's British.
Yeah.
I don't know him.
I say.
Oh, sorry. Can I get another
Yeah, what flavor do you
blackberry?
want? I've had...
These are really good.
Try another one. Get a different one.
Fuck.
I've had pomegranate. It tastes like Chinese food. It's really weird.
That's
In a good way, or?
Yeah, it's actually really nice.
Do you like?
Okay.
These are really good.
So-
They're definitely on par with White Claw.
The pomegranate version? Oh, it's because there's ginger. That makes sense.
That does make it super.
The pomegranate ginger tastes just like Chinese food, and the lemon lime is really refreshing. So the other one
I'll try lemon lime. Fuck it.
is...
Yeah, lemon lime sounds good.
We got another Coke in there for you, man, if you want.
I'll take a small Coke break, but yeah, definitely 5 minutes from now, I'll nudge you.
For sure.
I got a Grimes story though. Actually, this is a good funny story that's wholesome for the whole family about FTVM. So you might actually, this might click something in your brain, especially if you took classes after I left there. So I was in Mr. Grimes, Mr. Wilkins, whatever he wants to go by. I was in his it was like single camera production course. So for those of you who don't know at home, single camera is basically like most shows that aren't sitcoms. You know, you'll have one camera set up, you'll do the whole scene from this setup, and then you'll set it up on the other side of the room, do the exact same scene. That way you could intercut between which who's talking and this that, which angles look the best, which wide.
I never took it, but I called it the how-to YouTube class.
For sure. Yeah, and apparently
Good name.
all the kids still didn't know at the end. I'll get to that later. So basically we were given like a few odd assignments here and there, just kind of keep us busy. But we had one main assignment we were supposed to do by the end of the semester. We were basically given the entire semester to do this. It was to basically just make a scene, prove you know what you're doing, prove you listened to class, prove you read the stuff. Not even just do a scene, just a 2-person scene that was supposed to have continuity between shots. So like I can't just be like wearing this shirt, hey, what's going on, talk to you, and then switch that angle and be wearing like a red shirt. So
We filmed this on Thursday and this on Friday.
exactly.
Clearly.
So like don't hide things like that. So it's supposed to have that. It's supposed to have a reference to, because he gave us an order. So like let's say he gave me number 16. I was supposed to converse with whoever was 15 and 17 and be like, hey, how could I kind of like make ours related? And it could be something stupid like, oh, I was wearing a watch in my scene, so I could put that same watch in my scene. Or, oh yeah, I ate
like a
macaroni
game of
and
telephone
cheese.
through like cameras or
Yeah,
something.
I thought that was pretty fun, or like a cool idea. And I think those are only 2 rules. Just do that. And like I literally waited.
These are really good. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. I waited till the day was 2, and then I rented a camera, and I had my friend John. Shout out to John. I know you're listening. I had him just film me, and I did this crappy parkour all around Moore Park College. And I just started running, and I even made my own track too. Like this is a track I made like unrelated. I like to make music in my free time, but yeah, I made this track, and it's kind of like hardcore, like almost like metal sounding, and like we just played that on a loop while I was running, doing this awful parkour throughout Moore Park. And I remember I turned that in, and meanwhile Michael Grimes, he got hit. He's a motorcycle rider. He got hit by a car
Like twice.
Yeah, he guy got fudged up. But yeah, he was limping, and I just remember, so we had all our files in the order, 1 through 30 or whatever, and I was like, let's just say 16. So like in the middle. And so we get 15, like all the scene. And by the way, everyone who's a film major, like if you're a film major watching this and you're just like, you're thinking about what you want to do for your scene. Okay, the actors at Moore Park aren't good enough to do drama.
Nope.
And you're not good enough to do drama.
No one at Moore Park is good enough to do anything, bro.
Yep.
It's where you like, oh, I didn't really.
That's where
get
dreams
it
go
in.
to die.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So the actors aren't good enough to do drama, and you're not good enough of a writer or a director. So
Nope.
So and enough with the suicide films for fuck's sake.
Yep.
Yeah, bro.
It's
Everyone's
not a good
depressed
thing.
out there.
So yeah, suicide film after dramatic scene of breakups, after cheating, after suicide film.
Always that, yeah.
Yeah, and then so number 15 was probably just. Oh yeah, it was a breakup. I remember actually because it was my friend who was doing that scene. Oh, everyone except hers sucked. She had it was like about a breakup while they're eating macaroni and cheese or some shit, and then like just immediately you hear like the guitars like and then it's just like the title screen. I had do you remember Reese?
Yeah.
He edited it for me. I gave him full control. I'm like, dude, make me look like a dumbass. I don't give a shit. And so in a day, he like made me look even dumber than I already looked. You know, turning in a single camera scene where I'm just changing everything, going all throughout Moore Park, like somersaulting, and like he even made one where I'm like running and there's like a thought bubble that says like, "You can't catch me, gay thoughts."
Nice.
They caught up. No, I'm just kidding. No, straight thoughts.
They always do.
Straight thoughts. Yeah, and so I turned that in. I just remember everyone's laughing. I'm laughing because, like, even though I was a part of it,
You never saw it.
I never saw it. So this is a first for me too.
That's awesome.
And so I'm like almost pissing my pants. I like that your core is hurting because like you did an ab workout. You're laughing so hard. Everyone's crying, laughing, and I just remember. Grimes just hobbles his British ass, his limey ass, just up to the front.
Limey
He
ass.
just got hit by a car, and he just like hobbles there, and he just like turns around and just stares at me like, what the fuck was that? And then just walks away without me even answering. And I was just crying. I couldn't even talk. And that set the mood.
Here's the thing, though. It's like, if you're a film professor, you should at least appreciate the experimental aspect of it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they totally do.
Well,
Because you must
But then
see
you get
the
some-
weirdest shit.
And like he'll straight up and just be like, "Yo, like what the fuck did you just like make? Like what is this garbage?" Like he'll say that to your face.
oh
And
yeah.
it's like
I respect him. He's a good.
That's
like,
the industry.
If I make shit, tell me. But like he couldn't even do that because he knew that I knew. You know, that wasn't my God honest trying.
He's like, if I say, "What's this garbage?" That's exactly what he wants
Yeah,
me
I
to
say.
say.
Because-
I'm not going to play into his hands.
Even in the video, I mean, again, like Reese did this part, but I like to take credit. It said, "Give me my F, Michael." And technically, okay, I'll get to that later. I'll reverse back because I technically did and didn't. So I guess the technically is didn't. So that set the mood. Everyone's laughing, and then back to suicide and fucking just dramatic scene of breakups and cheating and yeah. So. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, you guys tried, but I got the same grade as you, and my film is showed every semester in classes unrelated as more or less like a what to not do, but still, I'm remembered.
Yeah.
You guys,
That's
your
the
suicide film, it's gone.
That's the thing, man. I studied music at Moore Park, and they show you stuff like art pieces, and they're like, "What is art? Is this art?" And then it's like some dude like breaking a toilet, and it's like, that's written on sheet music. That's a song. It's
Awesome.
sold 1 million copies. And they're like, "Is this art?" And everyone's like, "No." And they're like, "It sold more copies than you." Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, "Oh."
Yep. Oh, that's
It's like, this is what you shouldn't do, but also, if you want to do it,
yeah. That
We don't know.
That was my biggest problem, and like you're kind of like I guess a different generation for me in the FDVM program, but like. No one had their own opinions. It was always just like, what? You like...
I actually got ostracized from the film department because of that.
Yeah. It's just like...
having
well,
your own opinion.
Yeah.
If you don't think that, like, Kubrick's God, Spielberg is Jesus, like, Tarantino is kind of like... Moses. I don't know. I'm just going through all the religious
religious
yeah,
figures.
so like if you don't think they're all just like the forefathers and like you should copy them, then what the fuck are you doing? Oh, you want to make a cool action film? Like
You have to do it this way.
Yeah, exactly. And like, oh, what's that? You don't have like some
Which pisses me off because those directors got famous for doing it their way and having it be good.
Exactly.
The same way everyone's like, Mozart and Beethoven are the shit. It's like, okay, well, they're the shit because they just wrote what they wanted.
Yeah.
They didn't sit down and say, I wanted this, this, and this. They didn't have a rubric. They just fucking did it.
Yeah, and because I remember I was like, and they really picked and choose their battles. So it's like I'm not a huge fan. Like, sorry to everyone at home and you guys, even if you disagree, but I'm not a Star Wars guy myself. But it's
not for everyone.
Yeah, and it's not that I hate it, but I just remember this was, I think it was The Last Jedi, which was pretty universally panned even by like the fans.
Yeah.
And I didn't even say like, oh, I think it sucks, this, that, but like one kid was arguing that like, oh no, it's really good because of this, this, and this. I'm like, well, all the things I've seen, this, I didn't even say like, oh, this movie sucks.
It was like 1 through 7 all pushed together.
Yeah,
into one movie.
And I was like, everything I've seen kind of indicates that like, no, that's not what happened. There is no like, you know, greater scheme of things. And he's just like, you just don't even like it because you hate Star Wars and this, that, and you're just wrong. And then all his friends dogpiled me. That's when I knew I was done with them, is because like I got like a 5-on-1 on Facebook. I'm sure you can still find it somewhere.
It's like you can't even be objective.
Yeah, and I'm like, I didn't even say anything. All I said was like, I heard this guy say, this guy's a super fan, said he didn't like it for this reason. I didn't say, oh, I fucking hate Star Wars, and because I don't like trashing things I didn't see, because I didn't bother watching Last Jedi, because you know I thought I saw episode 7. It was all right, you know, not like intriguing enough for me to want to really like.
For me, it felt like a lot of like, let's see what toys we could sell out of this.
Absolutely,
it felt like a lot of that.
Sell to China too, the biggest market.
Everything was like, let's see, we'll throw some Porgs in there. We'll throw some fucking Kylo Ren for some face masks.
And it works. It works. Yeah, so the marketing people are geniuses over there. It's just the filmmakers
it's all Disney now.
Yeah.
So they're just
Disney
like,
money.
they're like, if we could turn all this into toys, and they're like, yes, we can.
That's Disney's specialty.
And like these same people will make fun of like Marvel, like MCU movies, which I, you know, obviously know have their faults, but I enjoy them. Like they'll say, oh, those suck, and like this one girl's like, oh, you people don't know what art is because the only movie you like is Mean Girls. I'm like, if that's the only movie they like, there's nothing that says Mean Girls is an inferior film to The Godfather. I mean, I'm sure most people would say Godfather's better, but you know, it's like
Citizen Kane.
I always default to the standard of We Are Your Friends, because Josh and I watched that. Like, we heard it tanked. It did terrible in the box office.
Yep.
And Josh is just a fan of Zac Efron movies, so he's like, let's watch
biased.
it. And I was
Cool,
like,
dude.
I was like, sure, I'll watch it. And then we watched it, and I was like, that's a good movie. Like, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
It was well written. It was, you know, directed. It had a good emotional driving message, I thought. And people didn't like it because it's just
Not accurate to DJs.
Well, DJs are like stuck-up pricks, bro.
Oh, for sure.
I've seen a ton of them, and everyone wants the glory for themselves. So when they see a guy doing it with 6 other people, everyone's like, "That's not realistic. I do it in my bedroom." And it's like, all right, well, like, you're kind of an asshole, and you have no like fan base. Like, everyone always thinks they're the shit. So it's like,
well, remember, like, musicians are the artists, DJs are the art dealers. So.
I like that.
yeah, I like that. That's pretty true.
Yeah, and I obviously nothing against DJs, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like you're like some of you, not all you.
But it's like anything, man. If you worked with Lil Wayne on a record, or who's your favorite band? You do hardcore?
Well, I like The Police. I'm not like necessarily super into hardcore, but you know, I just like bands from all sorts of genres. But The Police is probably like my
let's
favorite.
just say you got a contract to work with The Police, and every band member was a dick to you.
Oh yeah, right.
You'd finish that album, and they're like, "Do you want to do another album?" You'd be like,
Depends on the cheddar, though.
Yeah, but you definitely be like, "I don't know."
Yeah, right.
Like,
well, they say don't meet your heroes, so.
Yeah, I mean exactly that, because it's like, what if they're just pieces of shit? Except
that would break my heart.
Except for every DJ is just a piece of shit.
So now you just know that before you even get in there. Don't tell them
it's
the
just
DJs.
it's the culture, man. Like, if you ever meet a producer or other engineers, they're so fucking full of themselves.
Oh, yeah.
They're like,
Deadmau5 is pretty cool.
I mean, sure, I haven't met. I mean, obviously not every single DJ or
seeing his,
producer.
like,
but
how
like
he
the
interacts
culture,
with
like I
media
follow
and
like
whatnot.
memes and like forums and stuff, and you read it, and it's always going to be like, man, this artist was shit and didn't know what he was doing in this, and I'm like, I mean, it's your job to like not be a dick. Like, come on, bro. It's like step number 1: don't be an asshole and complete the job.
Well, no. Speaking of, do you guys actually think Avicii killed himself?
Avicii's dead.
He fell.
Yeah.
He fell. Was it intentional?
Well, I mean, you know, this
Maybe he was
might get
pushed.
us murdered. Yeah, but I people think the
Did he know
Hollywood.
something?
Like,
We've talked way more about Epstein than Avicii, and I'm pretty sure Epstein's people would come after us before Avicii's people.
I mean,
would
that's
come
pretty
after
high
us.
profile, though.
Netflix is pedophiles, too.
Yeah, Avicii, I guess.
Nick Kroll. That's a new one.
Nick Kroll's the next one to go,
Wait,
guys.
really? Wait. There's a Nick Kroll thing right now?
Yo, no,
Doesn't
bro.
surprise me.
There's gonna be
I've got a theory,
in a
though.
couple years.
Oh, for sure.
Everything I've seen of Nick Kroll involves some sort of like molestation or child.
Big Mouth?
Yeah, Big Mouth is basically child porn in my eyes, and Nick Kroll's like the writer. And I started watching The League with my friend, and every scene with him has like a baby or a child in it.
Oh, boy.
And it's like a weird like sexual tension joke. And I'm like, bro, this like the weird thing is like it feels like it's coming from a place of honesty.
It's like Dan Schneider with feet.
Yeah,
The
it's
new
like
Nickelodeon guy.
it's like a real like, yo, I think this, like, you know how like a lot of actors, like I said, what's his name, the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Andy Samberg?
Which one?
Andy Samberg.
Okay.
He always writes like the majority of the movies I've seen of him, it's always like he's got a rocky relationship with his dad. Bo Burnham, rocky relationship with his dad, and you see their art and you're like, that has to be a little bit true.
Yeah.
So when I see someone like directing Big Mouth when it shows like 13-year-old vaginas and penises and like goes about the sex exploration, and then I see him like taking the shirt off of a little kid in a live action TV show, it is funny. But
As long as it's funny.
But it feels a little like this is coming from a place of like
Some underlying
real
tone.
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
this comes from a place of real like you feel this
Well,
way.
yeah, you write what you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like every comedian that's in his like phenotype is on their way out in terms of like not just the Me Too movement, but I think most of them are actually pretty damn shady.
Well, that's the thing, man. It's like it's an edgy line. Like if you ever see like headlines of like Boy Scout leaders, it's like the Boy Scout leaders are the ones who are like the pedophiles.
Yeah.
And it's like it's because they are in like a culture where if you want to like diddle, you have to be
And church leaders.
yeah, in
Yeah.
church, if you want to do that, you have to be in those positions
Yeah.
to diddle.
For sure.
So it's one of those things like if you want like to be able to take off a little kid's shirt on a bed and have it be seen as funny, but like you still kind of get off a little bit to it.
Not saying it's okay to do that.
Not at all. But I'm just saying like
I think it's funny.
well, I mean like
it's funny, but if it's funny, but if it proved to be something underlying to where he was a sexual predator or had something like that, I would not be surprised.
I think my theory is like a lot of these comedians, you know, okay, so you could be like a 4 out of 10 dude, and if you're super funny, you could get an 8 8 girl. But these are people who probably never got laid growing up, and now they're finally in a position of power. Like,
Which is why he wrote a Netflix documentary about not getting laid in high school.
there we go. I didn't even know that. See, it's just proven my theory. Like same with Louis C.K. That I mean, like let's be real. I'm calling you out, Louis. If you're
Could
watching,
you imagine somebody, even if it was a woman, be like, "Can I masturbate to you?" And you're
I
like,
know, like,
and
you
you're
could-
like, no, and then they just stand in the doorway and do it. You're like, ah.
Yeah, I know. It could be the hottest chick, and I'd be like, this isn't wrong. But yeah, no, like he probably never got laid, and now he's like, oh, I'm finally rich, and people know my name. Like girls are just gonna say yes, even if they say no, that means yes. So yeah, Louis, I'm calling you out. So if you see this, shame on you.
He wants to fight on the street,
oh,
bro.
I will take you. allegedly, he's Mexican. So I don't know where I was going with that, but he just doesn't look like it.
He's a ginger.
Yeah.
Gingerkin.
I've never seen a Mexican ginger.
I've
They
seen
don't
a
exist.
few, but
don't
yeah,
exist.
he's lying. Yeah, no, so just something like that. He's like, oh, I've never had girls watch me, and now they think I'm cool, so I'm just gonna whip it out. And
They think you're cool,
you
and
have a lot of money.
nobody would watch you just jerk off.
yeah,
Could you imagine being 25, like being like, hey, how about I buy you a drink, we talk, and then we go back into like an alleyway, and you just watch me jerk off to you?
Depends on how much
it's
they
a
pay
hard
me.
no.
Yeah, but like,
Oh God, guys, that brings me to a story.
Let's hear it.
let's hear it.
All right. This one's like a doozy. Like, so strap in, probably get another beer. Okay, so
God, don't gotta tell me twice.
this is bad, but good for you guys. Bad for me. All right, I was 19.
It's good
and
for
I
the
was
brand.
I was at Moore Park College. This was finals week, and because I'm a cheap ass, I would park my car at the park that's across the street.
Nice.
Yeah, and I just walk to class. Maybe a little good like 10 calories I burn, whatever. So I park there. Save the $50 or whatever it costs per semester. Again, I'm that cheap. So
Hey man, that's food. That's a tank of gas.
exactly,
Well,
yeah,
the parking pass a day is like $2.
yeah. I just even that I was like, no.
It's like $30 the whole semester.
It's
But
like
Yeah.
well, it's like either that $2 a day or an extra two.
that's true.
Like,
I didn't go.
Frito
I didn't go
burritos.
every day. I didn't go every day. I just went.
Yeah. So I was at the park, and I remember. So this is finals week, and I all I had to do was I had to show up to 3 classes, basically just show up, like write my name or turn something in. So I show up to I was taking like Mexican American history. I was just turning in my essay. Not like essay, but you know, I had to do that.
Don't
joke.
snitch on your essays, dog.
No, hell no. So I was turning my essay, and then I remember, yeah. So I only had to show up to 2 classes. So I remembered, I was like, oh, I took a photography course that semester. She said like, oh, come pick up your big like blown up frames. If not, I'm just gonna toss them. I'm like, oh yeah, those are nice pictures. I may as well pick them up. So I picked them up, and I'm like, now I'm just holding huge ass frames. I gotta go back to my car. And so like this is probably like 2 or 3 hours between my next class, the last one I have to show up to. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to hold these for 3 hours. I'm just going to take this to my car. I walk down to the park again. I put my frames away in my car, and I'm like, all right, now I just have 3 hours to kill. So I chill. I go into the restroom, you know, like, relieve myself. I walk out, and this dude's walking in. And as he's walking, he's just kind of like staring at me. And I'm just like, oh, this guy's just weird. So I walk to the bench. I just whip out my phone. I was just doing whatever.
Not what I thought you were gonna say.
I whip out my 10-inch Tim, and no, so I'm just on my phone, and like in my peripheral vision, I see this dude like walk out, just stop, and like this is a good like 30 feet away. I'm not great at gauging distance, but a decent distance away. So he gets out of the restroom, just kind of stops and stares at me. He's wearing shades. He's wearing like kind of a nice, not suit, but like a dress shirt with a tie. And he just stops, and then he just walks away. I'm like, this guy's a fucking weirdo. So I'm just chilling on my phone again, and then I see this guy come back, look at me and stare, and then go back in the restroom. I'm like, this is so dumb. Like, what did I do? Did I piss this guy off? I don't know. And then 5 minutes pass or whatever. He comes back out. Now he's walking towards me. I'm just seeing him in my peripheral vision. I'm like, oh fuck. And he comes up to me, and like he's like, hey, what's up, man? And I'm just sitting on the bench, just on my phone. I'm like, oh, hey, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, so you Joe? I'm like, no, I'm not Joe. Like that, I thought that would be it. I was like, have a nice day. I go find Joe. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm looking for Joe here. And like right off the bat, I'm like, okay, so he doesn't know who he's looking for. I'm like, this has got to be either
a drug deal.
Yeah, a drug deal, or an anonymous like Craigslist like let's fuck. So
Are you Joe?
yeah. Like,
you want me to pee on you, right?
Oh man, you don't know yet. So I'm so I'm just sitting on this bench, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm just looking for Joe, and he and I were supposed to hang out. Like, no one hangs out with someone they don't know unless it's like friends with benefits type deal. And then next thing I know, he's like sitting on the table or bench or whatever right next to me. I'm like, like this weirdo, and he's like, yeah, so I just am searching for Joe. Like he's gonna convince me I'm Joe at a certain point if he repeats it enough times. And like I'm like, hey man, I'm really sorry, I'm not Joe. Like, I promise. I'm like, but if Joe walks by and he sees you talking to me, he's probably gonna think you're not you. So maybe you should like go to the monkey bars or something. I said that to him. He's like, his response, which I'm like floored. I'm like, is this how guys flirt? Because he's like, yeah, monkey bars are pretty fun.
Did he
naked.
seem gay?
No, this is the thing. Yeah, like he's like, monkey bars are fun if you're naked. And I'm like, it doesn't seem fun to me, because all I can think of is like falling and getting like sand in your ass. But I'm like,
sand was involved in my vision too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, that does not sound fun. Not only that, but monkey bars are kind of hard, the lats. But no, but what he seemed to me is like, I automatically knew where this is going from this point. And I was like, this guy is a like. No, I wouldn't even say closeted homosexual.
He's like, you look thirsty. You should drink some of that water. You're like,
oh, where'd this come from?
No thanks.
Yeah.
No, really.
And he's like, he's just so he's telling me about Joe, and and he says that magical line, and so like I said, I'm like, this guy, he looks like he's like a married man, and this is his secret life. You know what I mean? Like he's
just hanging around. Public college libraries.
Yeah, right. And
Parks.
like, so he's chilling, and like he keeps talking to me. He's like, yeah, so like I saw you go into the bathroom. That's why I thought you were like, fucking everyone goes to the bathroom. Like, I didn't know what to say to him. And like this is, I was 19 at the time, so just imagine a skinnier version of this, a lot skinnier. So I was just chilling there, and like back then I was a lot more like this is probably the wrong word to use in this story, but submissive, meaning like I just let people just talk to me. Nowadays, I have a little more balls. I'd probably.
Could you
just
imagine? He's just like, go to the monkey bars, and you're like, okay.
No, like he's just like, yeah. So this other day I was at this park, this exact park. I was like, yeah, and then he's like, and I walked into the stall, and this guy was just jacking off. I was like, oh, that sucks. He's like, no, but I mean, like,
he's like, yeah. Do you want to watch me jack off in this stall?
well, that's where he was headed, because he's like, no, because it was like his dick was really big. I was like, all right, and I just couldn't
he's no
look
longer
away.
a closeted homosexual,
Yeah, I
by the
know.
way. Whatever theory you had is out the window.
No, but he's
It's
like,
confirmed.
no, he's like, I'm not gay, but like it was just so big, I just couldn't look away. I'm like, okay, I'm not gay, but it would have to be like literally 30 inches if I couldn't look away. Like, how big we talking?
It'd have to be hentai status.
Yeah, and
It's
like,
touching the floor.
yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's all right. And like he's like, so yeah, you know, and now he's like finally coming clean. He's like, yeah, so I was meeting Joe. We met up online, and we were supposed to meet here. And like, have you ever watched someone jack off before? I was like, no. And kind of harken back to what you were saying. He's like, well, what would you ever? I'm like, dude, I wouldn't even watch a girl masturbate. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a straight dude. Like, that's just weird. And
awkward.
yeah, and like he's like, no, like it's really fun. And like I said, I'm not gay, but
That's like super narcissism at its finest, bro. It's like
Just
if you
watching?
can't
Are you
Yeah, right?
participating
And-
too? Like,
yeah.
if you can't sing karaoke or have any other talent that you can like do at a party, it's just like, do you just want to watch me jerk it? Because like I just need someone to look at me for like 5 minutes,
dude, that would
disgust
make me go
or
limp.
admire me. I don't care. Just
watch.
just watch. I just need eyes on me.
Yeah, and he just kept going, and like again, this is where like it would be different today, but like I was like, I had like 3 choices going off in my head. I'm like, I could go to my car and leave, but then he'll see what I drive.
And get your license plate.
Yeah,
Probably follow you
exactly.
home.
Yeah, and then I could go to Moore Park. Then he could maybe follow me, which is also weird. Or I could just deck this guy. I'm like, these are all viable options. Like, I'm not really a violent guy, but you know.
Could you imagine though,
If
like
need be.
if the cop showed up and they're like, "Why'd you punch him?" and they're like, "Oh, he wanted me to watch him jerk
Yeah, I
off,"
know,
and
it's
the
a
cops
weird-
would be like, "All right, go home. We'll make sure he doesn't follow you."
Or they'd be like, that's a hate crime. You hit a homosexual.
Yeah, right. No, for sure.
Yeah, and then like, so he just keeps going. Like, he still thinks I might be Joe, or he's like, okay, maybe Joe's a lost cause, but Joseph, me, I'm not Joseph, but he doesn't know my name. He's like, yeah, this guy could.
He's also like, if I guess your name right, will you watch me jerk off?
I'd be like, all right, you get 5 guesses.
you entertain them.
Yeah, but he just kept going. He's just like, so like, yeah, this one time I was at the beach, and this guy's like, oh, I'm so fucking horny, I want to jack off, I'll pay you to watch me. I'm like, okay, that was probably you, if that story even happened. You were that guy. You weren't the guy that was getting paid. You were the guy paying.
What if it's the truth though? What if he just went to the beach one day and someone's like, "I'll pay you $50 to watch me jerk off," and he's like,
$50.
$50, and then he did it, and he's just like, "Man, I gotta get someone to watch me jack off."
This is the God honest truth. He's like, what is in that?
Yeah, don't knock it till you try it.
And so he
Could you
just keeps
imagine?
going. He goes like,
Again, getting sand in your dick. though,
yeah,
and
exactly. I
that-
just don't want sand in my balls, bro. You go to the beach and it's just in all the wrinkles. It never
Yeah,
comes
keep
out.
it out of the body.
So he just keeps going, a level after a level. Each time I'm like casually rejecting him. I'm used to being rejected, not rejecting someone. But then again, guys don't normally hit on me. So he just keeps going, and then he's like, and finally hits me with the bomb shit. Like, so how much money would it, make you a little curious about it? I'm like, and I said like with deadpan, I was like, $2 billion. Probably a lot less if we're being honest, but like
Probably a lot less.
Yeah.
If you had the money on you.
Yeah,
Probably
right?
a lot
If
less.
we're paying in cash, and like no one needs to know. 100,000 is not bad.
Awesome. To just watch him
Yeah,
jerk
just to
off?
watch, yeah.
$1,000, dude.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'd do it for $1,000.
$1,000, I got you.
Like just what, like
$100 in lunch, got you.
I'll do anything.
We
for
can't eat the lunch
honestly.
together, though.
Yeah, I know.
No.
We can't even look each other in the eye. We are never.
I
Seeing
have
each
to give
other
you the
again.
bill, and then I'll leave, and then you can pay it, and we'll work it
you're
out
not
from there.
seeing my car either.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my favorite part is after I was like, "Oh, you really?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's just weird." He's like, "We don't have to do it right now. We can just go in my car." And then I was like,
What
"Oh,
the
in the
fuck?
car. Okay." And then I jacked off with him. No,
That's how you get fucking
Kidnapped, bro,
exactly.
yeah.
And like, so he just keeps going. Like after that, he
Could
looked
you
a little.
imagine being like that guy? Let's just say you're sitting amongst a bunch of other people who just got kidnapped, and one turns to you and goes,
What are you here for?
Did he get you with the jerking off thing too?
What was your asking
And you're
price?
the idiot who's like, yeah. How much did you do it for? I said $50, and everyone just starts. All the other like kidnapped victims are just like laughing at
Making
you.
fun.
All of a sudden, you're the poorest jerk off watcher in the world. Everyone's like, he gave me $1,000, and you're like, I did it for 50.
I like the idea that even though he kidnaps you, he still gives you the money.
And doesn't just take it
Hey
back.
man, these are hardworking sex traffickers.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
they
It's
have
an
the money.
honest business.
They have the money to pay for their whores, I guess.
Really quick, in all realness, though, sex trafficking is a very,
Yeah.
it's a very serious thing.
We're bringing
Human-
awareness to sex trafficking with
Human
this, with
trafficking.
this comedy bit.
Based off my bad experience
Yes.
with maybe getting drugged.
It's a very
and-
real thing, and it's probably just as bad as like AIDS or something.
Oh
but,
yeah.
like,
If you're a sex trafficker, meet me outside. That's all I
It's-
gotta say.
it's really bad. It's a problem that exists, and probably like your next door neighbors. Like you never know.
Probably.
It's super close to home to a
Was
lot
it
of people.
sarahslaw.com or
Megan's Law.
Megan's
yeah.
Law?
That's just finding sexual predators.
Oh, speaking
Well,
of,
that's kind
I
of the
just
start
got
of
like
it.
4 of them in my old neighborhood.
Yeah,
Like,
they all-
flat
we
out
got a ton of them
rapists.
around
All
here.
live across the street.
This seems like a nice area. It's
Well, they
yeah,
all
because
live
they
across
lock
the
themselves
street.
in their jerk off dungeons 24/7.
they're following me around.
Those guys don't even know we're going through a pandemic.
What's what?
They,
Corona?
they walk outside.
favorite beer.
They walk outside and they're like, "If I leave the sidewalk, I'm violating probation." So,
Is there a school nearby?
yeah.
Oh shit! But yeah, and then I guess to cap off that story, he so after I finally gave him 200 no's, and everyone's like, "Oh, you should have walked away." And again, I didn't want him to follow me, and I wanted this to go as peacefully as possible. Nowadays, again, like not a violent person, but I did jujitsu for a
Here's
while.
the
I
thing,
would
though.
just strangle
If he
him.
approached you and you said no, it's like his job to walk away,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like I was chilling because I had 3
Territorial
hours.
wise, it's
You were
like
there
you've
first.
been
Yeah.
there first.
Yeah, I had 3 hours.
It's up to
before
him to
class.
walk away, and then it's like that's why it would escalate to a fight.
Yeah.
because it's like, yo, I was just minding my own business here, sitting here, and
I'm
everyone
not fucking Joe.
Yeah.
and everyone who says you should have walked away, it's like, no,
Yeah, you weren't there.
I could just sit. I'm allowed to sit here.
Yeah.
Stand your ground.
I'm allowed to do whatever I want as long as I'm not asking you to jerk off to me.
Yeah, I was just trying to look at pictures of Spider-Man or whatever the fuck it was. I was wearing my Deadpool jacket, so he's just like, oh, this is a little nerd I can beat up and I can beat off. And
He's like, I like Deadpool.
oh, what's that? Ninja Spider-Man? I'll take him. And so he, yeah. So
Go
this,
Web.
This guy, I think he was successful. He looked like he had like nice clothing on. He got into like pretty nice looking like Lexus, you know,
Only
modest.
people with money are perverts.
Oh, for sure.
It's
That's why I'm voluntarily
It's just
poor.
a fucking thing. Like they always have a nice paying job.
Yeah.
They're married, and it's like, well, how the fuck does that even happen?
Yeah, exactly.
They're good at manipulating. Dude, if this guy was so confident, he's like going to the park being like, I bet I can get that guy to like watch me jerk off. Like, he's that confident.
Like, good for
I
him
haven't
for
been
that.
that confident in approaching women yet.
Dude, I've had women like literally like nude in my bed, and I still didn't know if they were ready.
You're like, do I have consent?
Yo, especially
Can
today.
you say it louder for the microphone?
For the camera, and behind the
camera.
two-sided mirror.
Well, like
Jesus.
fucking Moore Park with like they send you all
Title
those
9. Can I get another,
emails
drink
about
then?
the Title 9.
Can I
Which
grab
flavor?
a Coke, by the way?
Just a new one.
A new one. What ones did you have last?
Lime.
Thanks, brother.
Lemon lime.
Which one did you have first? Blackberry.
Blackberry. These are really good drinks, though.
Here's the Chinese food.
Okay.
Right, you ready?
Actually, Chinese food kind of does sound good after
That does
this.
sound
But like Moore Park College with their Title 9, shoving it down your throat with like
pisses me off.
every other email.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
like, yes, it's kind of important, but like I already signed like the thing where I acknowledge it.
It's
Stop
like
sending me the shit.
It's like the Bible, man. How many times did Jesus have to write down, "Do not rape thy neighbor"?
Well, that's
and then Moore Park's taking the same approach. It's like, hey, you know your classmate you think is pretty?
You can't say that.
Go ahead and keep your dick out of him.
You can't even say you're pretty.
Yeah, you can't. It's sexual harassment.
Sexual harassment. Everything is sexual harassment.
Well, that's my
Sexual harassment.
sexual harassment.
Shrektual.
Sexual.
Donkey.
Donkey.
And my least favorite thing about that is like, you know, girls are always like, we should stop teaching women how to defend themselves against rapists and start teaching men how to not rape. It's like rapists know they're not supposed to rape. That's what gets them off.
That's why they rape.
Murderers know it's bad to murder.
Yeah,
They
so
just do it.
They were taught. You don't even have to be taught. You know it's bad. You know, that's why they have to be secretive conservative about it. We taught them not to rape. That's why they're doing it. And so, yeah. Like,
my favorite is, why does every woman know someone who's been raped and not every guy know a rapist? And it's like, probably because that's a shitty thing to admit to a homie.
yeah, I would not brag about that.
Could you imagine? Like, that'd be like...
Well, I mean, like, if you're at a party and, like, let's say it's a big house party, there's like 100 plus people there. It's like all the house parties you see in movies. You see your homie, go upstairs or something, and he comes back like 20 minutes later, and you're like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? It's like, oh, bagging this chick. And it's like, whatever. It's like,
I slipped it in.
What do you do? Do you be like, yo, dog, like, what's up?
I mean, I assume it's consensual if he goes bagging this chick. A lot of house
but
parties
she doesn't
people
come
go
down
to.
a lot later.
She's probably taking a shower, bro. I mean, that's the thing. You can't just go fucking...
You can't 13 Reasons Why it.
Because here's the thing. You can't just go kick down the door and be like, are you okay? And she's like putting her clothes back on. Like, you don't know. And that's the thing. You can't just assume... That's the thing. You can't just be like, oh, someone's getting raped. You can't assume that. You have to wait until the evidence is, like, present. And it's like, if a week later she's like, hey, yeah, well, I was too drunk. He took advantage of me. It's like, okay, well then, let's talk about it. Let's discuss. Let's figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Then you take the necessary steps. But I've met people who are like, yeah, can you distract this person so I can go take this guy upstairs? And I'm like, yeah, I mean... And a lot of the time, in my experience, it's the girl being like, "Hey, let's go."
Yeah.
So the women are the predators.
That's what we're getting.
Look, I've been told this time and time again. There's so many girls who are confident. They're like, if I go to any bar, I see a guy, I decide right when I see him, that's who I'm having sex with tonight.
Well, it's not.
You
hard
can be as a woman.
It's not hard for women.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Guys don't have that option, right? So when
called a gun.
Yeah. Oh,
now
Jesus.
we're the predators. I am not associated with Josh here.
He's just a guest.
I just met him today.
Our thoughts are our own.
That's the thing. It's like you can't just go into a bar as a guy and be like, that's the girl I'm having sex with. You gotta like shoot your shot and be like, hey, can I buy you a drink? What are you going to college for? Da da da. And meanwhile, you're 2 drinks in and she's already like, I'm fucking the guy with the leather jacket behind me playing pool. Thank you for the drinks.
Yeah, no, I just gotta ask, hey, am I the guy that you chose? No? Alright, see ya.
Yeah, and like and that's the thing, man, because like if people have come up to me and bought me drinks before and it's like, oh, thanks, bro. Like
Gus.
Shout out to Gus.
Yo, I'm waiting to tell that story, by the way. I mean,
now's the time.
For when? When are you waiting?
either the live show or like right now with all the fucking just fucking
It fits
sex
the theme
stories.
now.
It does fit the theme now. Do you wanna kick it off, Josh?
So we were at the local bar Clubhouse. I don't know if you've been. It's a very nice
here
place.
we go.
Local to here? Like,
Yes, local to here. It's
I've
just
not
down
been.
the street. It's behind Little Caesars.
Okay, this is a shit show, by the way.
Okay, I know that one.
It's called the Clubhouse. We
Here,
were there.
Josh, cheers. We survived.
We survived. We were almost
God
victims.
bless.
We were there. It was just the two of us, hanging out.
Just the two
after
of
work
us.
or some shit, and we're like, "Hey, you want to go to beer?"
Oh,
Sure.
this is bad.
Tastes like Chinese food, though. Yeah.
Oh, it's Chinese
Yeah,
food.
finish it.
It's just like chow mein in
But
a fucking can.
there's this one guy sitting at like the edge, like the
He was gambling.
tip of the bar, and you can do like the hot spot, and he won. He won the hot spot. He got like
$500.
yeah.
Nice.
So he was buying everyone's drinks. We were sitting next to him. His name was Gus. He's a retired police officer, and
The story's so good, it's almost unbelievable.
we were
Can't
just
wait.
shooting the shit, and we were like, "Yo, like, what's up, Gus? Like, how you doing?"
Well, the thing was, he bought the drinks, and I go over to him, and we're like, hey, man, thanks. I'm like drunk. I'm like, hey, man, thanks for those drinks. And then we start talking about, like, the hot spots or whatever. And he's, like, breaking it down. And he starts talking about himself being a cop and all those stories.
Those are the best. Ex-cops always have the worst stories.
Apparently, he was assigned to follow around one inmate. He was a prison guard.
Oh, wow.
Follow around one inmate and like track his patterns. And this is the thing of like, maybe that guy did see that guy jerk off at the beach and was like, maybe now I want to have people watch me jerk off.
I got money to spare.
Yeah, and so this guy was a prison guard, and they're like, you need to follow around this one inmate because we think he's soliciting sex for cigarettes. And like that was this guy's job. He's like, there's like two-way mirrors everywhere, and he's keeping up to date, and he's watching this guy get railed in prison and sucking dick for cigarettes.
He's loving it,
and he's enjoying it. He starts getting aroused. He's like,
Gus is enjoying it.
Gus was loving it,
and he's like, I'm not a gay man. I don't think there's anything gay about it. It's
he's
just
bisexual.
There's something gay about that.
but he's like, just watching it sparked my curiosity, and when you see it every day, all of a sudden I wanted to try it. And he's telling us all these stories, and
we're both drunk, and we're like, yeah, Gus, that's what's up. Embrace yourself.
Yeah. And then he like bought us another round, and I was like, all right, this dude's fucking chill, and he's got a bunch of cool like prison stories. And he goes, so what do you boys say we go back to my place?
Oh gosh.
And we continued drinking because the bar was going to close.
And we know the bartender, and he's like, you guys can chill and hang out here, and like we've always been able to hang out after, and it's always been super cool. And Josh, add any information that I might miss, because I feel like I'm
He
already...
lives in Camarillo Springs.
Not that, asshole.
What's his address?
That's super personal.
I don't know that much, but we went to Camarillo Springs.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, okay, I'm gonna just ask you to not add any details for the rest of the story then.
Cool. You had a nice house.
He had a really nice house.
On Gustavo Street.
On Gustavo
Gus
Street.
on Gustavo Street. Good for him. He found a house with his name on it.
These are really bad with ginger. I don't like these at all.
Drink it.
I am.
Right.
And I was like, Gus, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It sounds like you're telling us a lot of stories about you jerking off dudes and then asking us to your place. And I gotta tell you, man, I'm not with that gay shit. And I said it straight like that. I was like,
we need more honest people like that.
I'm
in this
not
world.
interested.
And meanwhile, my dumbass is like, I'm very...
Okay, here's the thing, though. Josh started talking about, like, we won't even go there.
So, like...
Tell me after.
I'll tell you off
I'm
camera.
100% straight, but I'm very confident with my sexuality. Like, I'm very comfortable with myself.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean, like, I'm going to jerk off another dude or whatever. Like, I'm going to suck some dick because I'm confident with myself.
This is not gay.
I'm 100% straight. Like, I can look at a dude. I have a thing with legs. Like, whenever I'd walk up the stairs at high school and be like, this person has nice legs. Male or female, like, that's a good-looking dude.
You can appreciate the legs.
That's why I like Zac Efron. He's a good-looking dude.
With nice fucking legs.
He has
has
nice legs?
Nice fucking legs.
I feel like I'm somehow the same way with, like, I don't know, I guess this sounds gay, but chest, you know, if you have if you're good and you get your body up, I respect that, you know?
Yeah. You can appreciate another dude for looking a certain way.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing gay about that. You're confident and you're safe with yourself, and it's like, I can appreciate this without, like, me being a homo.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told Gus, I was like, I'm confident with myself. I'm very, I'm straight, but
I love this story. I never thought we'd say it on the podcast. I gotta be 100% honest.
I don't have a problem with looking at other dudes or something along those lines. And Gus took this as a green light and was like, okay, I'm gonna get my dick wet.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, he invites us to our house, and Josh kept saying stuff like that.
In Camarillo Springs, by the way, that's where his house
Yeah,
is.
obviously. And Josh kept saying stuff like that, and I was like, I'll be honest with you, I'm not for this gay shit. I think you're a cool dude. If you want to go back to your place and hang out and keep drinking, like, we can keep partying, but it's not going to be anything beyond that.
Yeah.
And I said it straight, and
I didn't.
and Josh was like kind of like weirdly implying stuff,
I fucking ruined it.
and I was like, I'll be honest with you, I'm really drunk right now. I already can't drive home as it is,
Yep.
so I'm gonna leave this decision up to Josh. And Josh chugs his beer,
Let's go.
and he smacks the table, goes, let's go. Didn't miss a fucking beat, and all of a sudden we're in this guy's fucking car.
Nice.
And he's driving us to his place, and we're sitting down and we're just chilling on his patio, and we're just talking, shooting the shit. He's got some whiskey, and it was really great. I didn't see him pour the whiskey, but you know,
We ended up fine.
Okay.
we ended up fine, luckily. And
Happens to guys too, so always be mindful.
and he kept telling us some more prison stories about, like, you know, the first time, his first gay experience, and the first this and the first that, and you know,
Getting more and more sexual.
getting more and more sexual. And I was like, in a weird way, they're good stories, because you can't write that. Like, you're not going to see that on TV. I haven't read it in a book, so I am intrigued at the stories.
Yeah, it's fucking interesting.
These stories are super interesting, but I wasn't like for that sexual component.
For sure.
And he was really driving for that.
That's what he wanted. He
Well, you
was
shoot your
lonely.
shot again.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, this dude was working hard for it.
He was divorced.
you respect the
so-
grind too. Yeah, he probably hadn't had sex in what, months, a year,
Couple weeks.
Depends on how often he goes to the bar,
whole
homie.
day.
But anyway, we ended up finishing our, like, we're drinking like whiskey straight outside, and we go back inside, and he's like, "What kind of porn do you guys watch?" And we're like having just like guy talk at this point, right? But like at an accelerated rate.
Yeah.
Because like I've
He's met
talked to
that
Josh
guy.
about the porn that I watch.
It moved very
But,
fast.
but this guy is like, yo, I jerk off dudes and watch people suck dick for cigarettes
And
for
he
a
was
living.
like, I really like bukkake.
He's super.
He's pronounced it like that too.
I mean, that's how I pronounce. I don't remember how he pronounced
He
it.
was super into bukkake. Is it? How do you pronounce it?
I mean, I just say
bukkake.
bukkake, but
I
yeah, it's
said
probably
bu.
I say
yeah, it's probably
bukkake.
bukkake or
Bukkake.
something. Let's ask Japanese people. How's it really pronounced?
Right.
Like he was like, I really like this. Like just watching a woman
Mm-hmm.
take loads and loads of cum. I was just like, okay, man. And
Dope.
so, like 15 minutes after that, we ended up just he pulled up like a DVD.
The thing was, my dumbass at this point was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of into gangbangs right now."
Oh God.
And he,
they're
and he
related.
goes, "I have a DVD of that."
And he was like, perfect. So he pulls up his DVD, loads it into his laptop, and we're just sitting there
Oh no, a
watching.
laptop, so it has to be like right here.
We're sitting there watching a gangbang bukkake. And Gus is over there. Is like, yeah, just this fucking part's my favorite. And it's like when
I memorized the script.
Super into
when
it.
she's taking all this, and we're like fast forwarding through. It's like, okay, cool, Gus. Like, yeah,
And he's
Great.
super into it, and then he starts talking about edging guys, and I was like,
Oh,
"All right,
What's edging good?
edging
just
is
before
like
they bust
when
you
they're about to
stop.
come, you stop."
Ah,
Yeah,
Tease.
it's like almost like have you seen any like femdom stuff?
femdom.
oh, like,
Is it
what, like,
femdom?
Yeah,
I say femdom. No, I haven't
I say
seen it,
femdom.
but
Just anything like I think the actual definition is like the denial of sexual orgasms.
fuck that. What's
So,
the whole
yeah.
point?
Some people are into it, man. People get into weird shit. And he's like starting to talk about like jerking us off. And he's like it doesn't have to be both of you.
But he's got
But-
two hands,
but
and there's
I'm-
two of you.
Yeah, exactly.
I was his target, 100%.
He definitely
So
was.
you get two hands.
But he's like, it doesn't have to be both of you. But if it was one of you, that'd be awesome. And
Where it's like, no,
and I was like, yeah, man, I told you already, I'm really not into it,
No.
and that, and then I forgot how it progressed, but he's like, I understand you think it's gay, but until you've had it done by someone who really knows what they're doing, and I take pride in my work, and I was like, dude, like, I don't know, man, it was like probably 4 or 5 in the morning, and I was like, if I'm not drunk enough already, like, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
he also gave us like multiple hugs. Like he really wanted a hug,
He was really
and he would also
huggy.
kind of grind on you when you hugged.
Oh.
He did grind his waist into us.
Ugh.
So
Wait, how old is this guy? Like paint a
probably
picture.
Probably
50.
50.
Oh, okay. So
50
so he's a
plus.
retired cop. Did he work at that time? Like,
No,
Yeah,
so
I
he's
don't
just
know.
living off pension or something?
Yeah,
Or,
he's
huh?
probably just retired.
He's living off the cigarettes he for bumming
Yeah,
dudes.
right.
yeah.
He's like, I know what cigarettes are worth. Let me show you what a hand job could be worth.
You're right.
But anyway, I was basically like, yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm kind of over this. Like, it's been super cool, but like, I'd really like if you drove us home now.
Oh, great.
And he's
Yeah,
like-
he knows where you live.
No. He
Back
drove us
to
back
our
to the
cars.
bar.
Oh, okay.
But basically, he's like, sure. And he's like super clear. He's like, I don't want to do anything that's
That your guys aren't okay. with.
unconsensual or anything like that. And
So that's where he was cool.
a really nice guy who just didn't want him to jerk me off.
Not what we were
That-
looking for.
No,
You know,
not what I was.
like,
But like, we got that story forever now, and I'm pretty sure. There's been 2 nights when I went out drinking with Josh, and both nights I was like, let's see what kind of trouble we can get into, and that was definitely one of those nights. I was
Good.
like,
The
let's
most
just
trouble we've ever been in.
yeah. And I was like, all right, well, let's never do that again because that was fucking
Ended up in a stranger's house, both
a
drunk.
nice house. But like,
And
also, what did
ended
we
out
expect?
okay.
You
yeah.
know?
I mean, well, learning experience, and you guys lucked out that at least. I mean, again,
One of us didn't get raped.
Yeah. At least, yeah.
The buddy system.
It could have
Yeah.
gotten worse, and you somehow got a nice creep. I guess I don't know.
I have his number.
Oh, nice. Let's give
Like
him a
I
call
s-
right now.
like-
Live on the podcast.
Bring him on the podcast.
Yeah, dude, that's the next guest.
Explain yourself.
Why don't you take a seat on this couch right here?
Yeah. We also have another guest. Chris Hansen's up.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I don't know. It was just one of those things. Like, you could be a good guy. I've got no problem, obviously. But like, it was like I don't know what I was thinking, man. I shouldn't have put myself in that position for sure. Because this dude was like really gunning for some cum, you know.
Yeah, he
Like
wanted it.
he really just wanted to jerk one. He's like, I'll even suck your dick if you want. Like, and it's one of those things. Like, he's like, I don't know, just I like gay experiences and it's
I
fun.
ain't bet.
And it's like, I don't know, dude. Something about just you sucking my dick's not cool.
I never understood that with a lot of people trying to justify their actions like that as not gay. It's like, dude, it's okay to be gay.
Just say
admit
you're gay.
Yeah.
Just say you're gay. It's fine.
If you
I don't want it. It's
Yeah.
cool. We can sit here and drink whiskey all night. I'm down. But the second you start throwing on porn and being like, I will jerk you off better than anyone you've ever been jerked off by, and I'll be like,
Good luck.
yeah, I don't know. I've had some pretty decent hand jobs.
Only had like one.
Any of them from men?
And both of them are for men, yes.
Men apparently know how to do it better. I mean, it would make sense. They
get
know
practice,
what to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what you like.
Yeah. So you could just assume your homies like it too.
All my homies like the same shit I do.
Certain grips.
Yeah.
Tight, real tight.
The tighter the better.
I remember my friend told me in middle school, he's like, have you ever tried it just the ring? It feels better. I'm like, I don't know.
Just the ring.
Like,
One
you know,
finger?
like not a grip, but just like, you know, like that. And I'm like, that doesn't
I gotta
sound
try that
right.
now. I never-
Alright. That's your homework tonight, viewers.
That's my homework too. That's my fucking essay for
You know,
the week.
Come to think of it, I never did try. So maybe I'm
gonna go
give it a
try that.
Try your less dominant hand, the ring,
Under the I'm a born again
different
virgin,
angles, go
so
straight down.
it's been too long. So
I like how the last like 4 podcasts have always just devolved into us talking about masturbating.
what do guys talk about?
That's what I'm saying. Like it's classic guy
This
talk.
is 2 dudes drinking beer. I don't see any chicks here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. We have yet to have a female guest.
Oh, who's gonna be the first?
I don't know. I have one person in mind. They're one of my someone I went to elementary school with. I still need
Oh
to,
shit, really?
I still need to reach out to her.
Bring her on.
She still needs to say yes first.
She lives in Arizona though, so I mean it'd be
it's
a
pretty hard.
video conference.
That's fine.
I'd say Skype, but it's Zoom now.
Yeah, we would zoom it.
That'd be
It
cool.
is Zoom. Yeah.
I need to reach out to her though.
Do it for
I wanna
sure.
Bring her on.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. I'd watch that. I mean, I'll watch them all, but
It'd be like a mental health thing.
oh, okay.
She's-
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
she's
do a
doing-
PSA.
Yeah,
I mean,
positive one.
we've
Yeah.
already done all
Let's
we
do the
could for
positive
child
one.
slavery
Yeah, today.
or sex trafficking.
I even threatened anyone who wants to sex traffic. I told them to meet me outside.
Yeah, bro, catch us in the street.
Or we're gonna have like a whole bunch of people. lined
Jacob's
up
the
outside.
muscle, bro. If you want to fuck kids, you gotta fuck up him
You gotta
first.
fuck me first.
If you want to fuck kids, you gotta fuck Jacob.
Well, I did. Yeah, like I was
It's
saying.
literally one of those pick on someone your own size
Speaking of
situations.
fucking Jacob, Alec, pull the trigger.
I heard you have a really big dick, Jacob.
Finally, it comes to light.
when you had the 10-inch Timmy joke, you took all the gas out of my tank
Oh,
because
damn. Sorry, that was a joke. But you know what? Now that it's off,
I know a few people you've.
You know more than one.
We have a mutual friend.
We have a mutual friend.
I know who you're talking about. I won't say your name or his name.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say his name either,
Starts with a Y.
but
That really narrows it down because who starts with a Y?
yeah. And word on the street is you got the biggest dick anyone's ever seen.
I like the word on the street. I'm glad it's getting around.
That's word on the street, and it came back to me. Word on the street came back to me.
Came back to everyone.
Everyone knows this. Well, now all your
Everyone in my friend group, at least.
Yeah.
So you guys got the checks to say this on air. Okay.
Oh no, we did not ask permission.
Yeah. I mean, a gentleman doesn't kiss and tell, but I'm not a gentleman, so I mean,
I like him more and more.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, I'll drink this Chinese food drink.
see, I would. You know, it always looked regular to me because it's the only one I ever saw for 15 years or whatever.
So when did you see the second
Until
dick?
my priest. No.
Oh my god, your priest was just like, Jesus Christ, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, So I've been told. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah?
If you're a lady at home and you want to test to find out, hit me up.
Consensually.
Yeah. I'll probably say yes. Let's be real. Like I told earlier, I'm a born again virgin. It's been so long.
So that means you won't catch the HIV anymore?
Yeah, there we go.
As long as everyone's
And I'm going to
wearing
heaven
masks,
finally.
It's okay.
Yeah, could you imagine wearing a mask during sex for a hookup?
You don't need to maintain social distance.
Which apparently you can with him, so that's cool.
Just,
Yeah, there you go.
Just sanitize.
Just stand on the other side of the room and he'll figure it out.
Is it there yet? It's like a garden hose. Again, I don't want to give too much away. Spoilers for those of you at home who want to give this story a try, but the reviews
I
are
love how
in.
this just became your like Tinder profile link.
Yeah. Oh, that's a
The
good
two
idea.
dudes drinking
just
beer
just
said-
a link and like a timestamp at 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Just
please watch.
8 = D.
That's right.
Two dudes drinking beer podcast.
You said multiple names. Is there another person that you know, the mutual?
Look, man, rumors get around, but I mean, you know, we don't gotta discuss names if you don't want to.
I actually have this person on video saying
Show me.
they were asking for okay. So this person was in a bathtub, right? And I was recording this. We're at
Bubba!
I
someone
want to say
else's
I've
house,
seen that.
and they were super drunk, and they were in a bathtub, and their phone was going off, and they were like, "Who was it?" And I said, "Jacob Sturgis." So
And that's how he found out about you.
As your first.
I knew about you
Years ago.
before college.
Oh wow, my reputation really does precede me.
Your dick is so big.
Yep.
People do.
I'll whip it out if you guys want.
No, I'm cool.
After cast.
It's yeah. When the camera's off,
Two dudes sucking dick is the new name.
I always say 2 dudes, 1 beer.
Two kids, one sandbox.
2 girls, 1 cup. Throw it back to the original.
But your
That's
dick is so big. We found out about it years before you ended up on this podcast.
Yep.
So
I remember when I ended up on this podcast earlier today.
yeah. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Really, way to go. Big claps for Jacob.
I may as well just give up on life now. It's not getting any better than this. Two
it
guys
really can't.
You've peaked.
You have peaked.
Okay, man. I don't know if I should tell this story.
Unless
but
you have sex with a guy who has an even bigger penis and you guys
Oh.
make a baby.
I hope not. I need all the ego boost I can get. No, okay. Oh, man, should I even say this story? Yeah, I'm going to.
Do it. There's
go.
nothing to lose. 2 dudes drinking beer. Anything goes.
That's right. All right, yeah. Vale Tudo, as they say in Brazil.
10-inch Timmy.
Yeah, so
That has to be the name. We can't put his real name. We just have to put 2-inch Timmy.
2 inch 2
10.
foot
Oh,
Tim.
10-inch Timmy.
2 kilometer Tim. All right. So when I was 16, I was seeing this girl, my first girlfriend. Okay, so I was a pretty innocent boy, like I was kind of talking about with track. Like I never scrapped. I only made a guy fall over with my mind.
You only tripped.
Yeah.
You only tripped Michael Lacey and your PE teacher in middle school.
Yeah, exactly.
That's your only crime.
So I meet this girl, and I'm really tempted to say her name because I'm sure you guys have like mutual contacts with her.
Say
You
it.
could say it now or off camera, but I do want to know the name at some point.
I will tell you definitely. If I don't say it on air, you could ask me and I'll tell you. But
Like, are you
I'm
friends
not
with
gonna
this
remember.
person on Facebook
Fuck no.
or wherever?
I'm not going to remember.
Then this person's not gonna see it.
all right, okay. So her name, I'll just give some hints. Her last name is a fish, and you remember when I told you about my uncle and and his baseball team? All right, yeah. You guys rewind 1 hour. All right, and then her first name is in the Old Testament. Let's just go back. Anyway,
Way lost.
I'm out of it.
all right. That's just a little riddle for you folks at home. I like to keep the brain going.
Dickle me this.
So she was a bona fide hoe. Like if you want to do your hoe things, no complaint here. But like she was 15 and she was already way experienced, and I'd never even kissed a girl.
You said you were 17?
I was 16 at the time.
16, okay.
She was 15, so I was a year older than her. She went to Kalina, but now her dad was so rich. So she had this huge house on top of Canaan Road. So you know Canaan, that's the rich area. So the best house in the best area of Westlake / Agora,
And the best hand jobs.
In Oak Park?
All right.
best
I think
hand jobs.
she was technically on the Westlake side, so she was
Okay.
still Westlake Village. So She, you know, we didn't really even know each other through middle school, but we'd seen each other around. It was kind of one of those things where like you just end up on someone's friends list. You know, you don't even know who sent the first friend request.
Usually, like I said, man, the girls see you and they're just like, that's who I want to fuck. And she just so happened to choose the biggest fish in the ocean.
Yep. And hey, Sturgis sounds like sturgeon, big fish. All right.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Peak. So she, so she and I, we start. Actually, maybe I should go to the beginning of this. I mean, like, is there a time limit on this show? Because I could talk for 8 straight hours.
Guests usually go for 2 hours.
We can go more if you really need it,
I'm cool
man.
with that. I have nothing to do tonight. I don't have homework due
I've got
till tomorrow
nothing.
night. Yeah. So she and I, I'm just gonna start from the beginning. This was originally about my dick, but it'll come full circle.
That's a soundbite, if anything. This is originally about my dick.
It's always about the dick if you think about it. You know, it's super bad. Why all the
Hey man, the only
like
reason
dicks.
we're alive is to fuck and, you know,
Yep.
enjoy life.
Yep. Eat and fuck.
And if you got a story about it, share it.
So she was hitting me up, and I remember I was kind of into it at first, but I was like, not even to be judgmental, but I was like, oh, you know, I haven't even kissed a girl.
Judgmental.
Yeah, I got my judgmental moments. For the most part, I'm pretty, you know, like I don't want to judge people because, you know, I've done stupid shit myself. I've done, you know, regrettable things. But this girl was a lot more experienced than me, and I was like, I don't want to my first kiss be with a girl who like has blown every dude.
Trust me, bro. It's better than being with girls who have no experience.
Oh, for sure. I'll get to that later. So she was like really into me because I think we had started talking. Oh, this is how we met. This is the best part. So there was this other girl who said I was cute for some reason. You know, like she went to TO and I went to Westlake. So like we didn't even know each other. Again, it was one person that just wound up on my friends list. But she said I was cute.
Like I said, man, those rumors.
Yeah. This is before the rumor should have. If anyone
He's
knew
not
about
that
it,
cute,
it
but
was
his dick is huge.
So she said I was cute, so I was like, oh, I gotta make a plan. I would overthink. I would just make a plan. Like, I'm gonna put a like for truth is on the days that she's online. I'm gonna study her patterns, and then she's gonna like it. I'm gonna be like, I think you're cute too. Yeah, no, that is psycho stuff right there. I've done worse. No, I made a plan, and it didn't quite work out because like she'd never even liked it. But I made like for truth is, and this girl, fish girl. Let's call her Fish Girl for now. The only reason I'm not using full name because, like I said, her dad is super rich. That's like
they're gonna be lawyered up when this airs.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then so Fish Girl, she liked, and I probably said something half flirting like, oh, you're kind of cute, and then so she like kind of messages me. She like really now just hits me up, and we had a lot of mutual friends. Like I said, she went to Kalina Middle School, but you know, she was a year younger, so it was like less likely that we'd have friends. But we had God, like she's like, oh, do you know, God, maybe I should say his name. Do you remember Mateo Peterson? Yeah. I knew him from. Do you know?
You're fucking kidding me.
Do you know Taylor Seeley?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew him through Taylor because I used to be Taylor's neighbor. Shout out to those guys. So
the more friends you mention, the more clear the picture becomes for me. Just so you know.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You might even know this girl.
I'm sure. I for sure do.
Okay, this is good stuff.
I
You missed out on the middle school days. So.
I know none of these people.
Oh my god.
So this is my junior year. Anyway, like so she likes that, and then we just started kind of talking. You know, it was just innocent. You know, like, oh, what do you like to do? I think she wanted to find another like pot smoking buddy, and as you see, I'm drinking Coke on a beer drinking show. So like I never,
Straight edge.
yeah, I was very, especially back then. Now I'll bang.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, addiction runs my family. I'll just be addicted to soda, which will kill me just as much. But
It really will. Speaking of addiction, Josh, can I get another beer, please?
Which one?
you finished the Chinese food one?
Anything but the Chinese food one. So bad. Don't let us take your steam, dog.
Oh no, it's all good.
Just
Sorry.
Keep going through.
Yeah, so she and I were talking a lot, and I was like, oh, she's cute. She was, you know, a cute girl, but again, I was like that judgmental part of me, like, oh, she's been around the block. Like she would openly admit this, but I think this was different for her because normally when she would openly admit this, guys would be all excited, like, oh, cool, this could be me, and I was the opposite. I was like, oh, I don't want this to be me, you know.
Well, when you're young, I felt the same way of like, there was that stigma of a girl who had been with like 5 guys, and you're like, oh, like,
oh, it's all stretched out.
My thought, well, kind of, but my thought was like, I'm gonna catch an STD.
Yeah, no, I was worried about that too.
And realistically, it's like, well, you know, No.
I'm gonna be right back.
You gonna go pee?
Yeah. Should I pause the story? We'll just talk about like flowers.
You go for it. It's live.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a piss next. I've drank a lot of water and a lot of alcohol.
Now we can talk shit about him.
Now that he's gone.
He smells. No, I probably smell right now.
He smells so bad.
So we're just talking, and like she seems like really eager to actually hang out with me. And it's like back then I'm a 16-year-old. I don't have a car. I have to ask my mom, and then I have to explain to her like this is technically a girl from the internet.
This girl wants me to dick her down.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just it wasn't my thing. It really wasn't like at the time. So obviously we'll get to that later. And then right when I'd start to kind of get interest, then next thing you know is like, hey, like our mutual friend, blah blah blah. Well, I blew him the other day, and it was like I was so good, and I was like, all right, interest back down to zero, because like
Well, one thing that took me forever is that like when people are saying stuff like that, like when Gus was like, I can give a really good hand job, my immediate thought process was like, I don't want you to jerk me off. But what their thought process is, they're trying to validate themselves to get you curious enough to be like, would you want to blow me?
Exactly. So yeah, this is where it was going, and like again, so she kind of piqued my interest a little bit, and again, like I said, she wasn't a bad looking person, so it wasn't like some minger 2 out of 10 trying to get me to do stuff I didn't want. It was some girl who was cute that I was like, oh, maybe I could see myself, and but yeah, she would lose me as soon as she got my attention, and then so next thing you know, she did that, and then I was like, all right, I'm back to not talking to you. This was like I think around Halloween when she told me that bombshell, and then and she was really trying to hang out with me like every single weekend, and I was like blowing her off. I bet if you asked her this, she wouldn't. No, he wasn't. He was into me from day one, but not true, because I would not hang out with her. Like I was like, icky, good dirty girl. I'm Christian, like 16-year-old.
Sex is gross. It's for marriage.
Yeah, and then so next thing I know, it's like Thanksgiving, and I told her I'd hang out with her, and I hate flaking. Like I think it's like the biggest. It's like a disrespectful
move,
thing. Yeah,
dog.
for sure. It's if you say you're gonna do something, do it. Be an honest person. But I was
or
like,
at least just cancel. People who flake don't even cancel. They just don't show up.
Yeah, and but it was like. It's like Thanksgiving time. I remember my family was down, and like that was a perfect excuse because I knew I wasn't ever gonna hang out with her. But I told her I'd hang out with her like the Friday or Saturday right after Thanksgiving. Oh god, like, just saying that, I'm like, man, nowadays I don't have Fridays or Saturdays off to do fucking anything.
I know. For me, my schedule's all weird too.
Oh yeah, and especially because like I'm in school. I'm like my last semester of college ever, and I have 50 hours to do.
You
for
say
one
that,
class.
and then you're gonna get a job, and then be like, you need your doctorate if you want to move up the ladder.
For sure.
And you're gonna be like, oh yes, sir.
Yeah, pretty much. So okay, that's the only way. Mark my words. That's the only way I'm going back for my master's. If like my next job's like, oh, we'll pay you like $30,000 more a year if you have your master's. I'm like, all right.
That's what my uncle did. Like he's an executive.
That's so stupid
for UCLA Health.
Oh, nice.
He's going back to get his master's to make even more money. He wants to be like an officer.
I don't get that. Why can't you just move up in the company?
Because I don't know how it works.
Right. Not only that, but like school doesn't even teach you anything.
School doesn't teach you shit, bro. It's all experience.
I learn more on YouTube than school.
It's all XP.
Yeah. And bonus XP weekend tonight.
Yeah. On YouTube, YouTube is bonus XP,
for
dog.
sure. Like people who actually know what they're talking about show you how to do it, and then they kind of like link you to where you need to go. Then you're a master.
I mean,
there it is.
I haven't been to university yet, so I mean, like, as I think that like those program specific courses that are going to
I'm gonna
like
dip out.
more like your program orient. Like I'm ideally going to transfer to Channel Islands in the spring for business management and business administration. So I mean, I think like those university specific courses will help you kind of guide you to what you want to do. But like that's the bachelor's.
Yeah.
I don't know what the master's courses are.
Yeah, no, I don't want to know. Or now that he's gone, we could talk shit about him because we were talking shit about you when you left. So
Fuck.
He smells. No, I'm telling him. I probably smell right now. Like I sweat easy.
I smell nothing. I do too.
Yeah.
I have hyperhidrosis runs in my family.
Oh, nice. No one runs in my family.
And my siblings, at least. My brother has got it worse than I do.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid.
Yeah, and to catch you up on the story, not a lot happened. But I was just saying that that girl, fish girl. So she. She was just really trying to hang out with me, and I was just, kind of half judgmentally like, oh, I haven't even kissed a girl, you've blown a bunch of dudes, like that's not for me, you know what I mean? Like I was trying to be nice, I had nothing against being her friend, but I didn't want to hang out because I knew she liked me. And then as soon as I'd kind of get a little interested, I'd be like, okay, you know what, like I could look past that, it's really no big deal, I'm not gonna like, odds are you're probably not gonna like get like marry a virgin anyway, you know what I mean? And I wasn't even doing it necessarily for like religious reasons or anything, it's just at the time I was just a little more pure than I am now. And but every time she'd get my interest, she'd lose it just as fast by being like, hey, our mutual friend, I blew him the other day when we were high. And
great.
Yeah, and like
thanks.
Exactly. I'm like, is that supposed to do something for
Are
me?
you trying to flirt with me?
That's supposed to bring me in, because that's just gonna push me away.
Yeah, so to bring it back, now you're both caught up to speed. So so now, actually, I forgot to tell him. So now it's like she wants to hang out, and I told her I'd hang out like on the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
And you don't flake.
Yeah, and I hate flaking, but I was like, I know I'm not gonna fucking go to that. Like,
damn.
Yeah, I'm not going. Like, this girl's weird, and like every time she ropes me in, she just fucking like sends me out to sea. And so I just remember like she was so disappointed when I'm like, hey, like, so my family is in town. I probably can't see you. I'm sorry. And I just like, I could hear her voice, even though it was just through like Facebook. Like I am like just so disappointed. I felt bad. I was like, oh man,
okay.
I hurt the girl that I'm not trying to even be with. And then for the
her emotions, dog. She thought she was gonna get the fucking Moby Dick, you know,
yeah.
And she ended up getting flaked.
Yeah, no, and like that, I think that screwed with her because she's so used to just being, hey, I'll blow you, and like guys will just.
Yeah, most guys jump on that opportunity.
Yeah, and here I am. She's like hinting it. She never flat out said it, but
you probably fucked her up for life, bro. She's like, the one that got away was Jacob.
No,
I will suck any dick, but if I could suck Jacob's dick, I would feel happy and I could die.
I hope someone's thinking that right now.
To be fair, one of my best friends in high school. She was actually very well known at Westlake. Her name was Jenny Hunt.
I remember her.
Yeah, I was her best friend sophomore year and junior year, and I stopped. I kind of broke off our friendship senior year, because I was sad. But our relationship was kind of like junior year. She got in a car crash, so her car was wrecked. So I would, after school every day, I would drive her to any appointment she had. Mm-hmm. I was basically like a simp before it was cool.
I was gonna say, I'm like, she got you.
Yep.
Before it was cool, but like she'd always do this thing. Yes, it is.
It's mainstream at least.
She'd always do this thing where like I would be driving and she'd be like, "Grab my dick," and I'd be like, "What?"
Whoa.
And so she'd
friends like that.
She'd like kind of lead me on and be like really weird, and like I never pulled the trigger or anything. Because like I didn't want to. I was that guy. I don't want to ruin our friendship. But even then, I threw the friendship away in the first place.
Yep.
You lose it either way, homie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Roll the dice.
I mean,
yeah.
She's engaged now. It's whatever.
Is she?
Yeah.
What?
To some black dude.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Not that there's
She got
anything
fat.
wrong with
It's
that.
whatever.
Like PHAT or
No, like FAT.
Oh.
Damn.
She probably added like 40 pounds, but
Really? 'Cause she was small. I remember that.
She was.
I remember
She
she was
was
like
tiny.
a black belt in karate, and that's back when I believe that karate was legitimate.
yeah, no.
Shout out to karate. Yeah, no, I remember. You guys remember? I forget his last name. Bradley. Rest in peace.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just remember he was arguing with like her boyfriend in like 10th grade or whatever, who's this tall dude. I think his name was Dustin. He was like this tall
Dustin
nerd.
Miller.
Maybe, I think so. Tall guy, really skinny, and like, you know, Bradley obviously would have
Definitely Dustin
whooped
Miller.
his ass, you know, like, but
Yeah.
like he's like, don't like, you know, because he liked one of her more suggestive images that was on Facebook, you know. I think cleavage was showing. It's weird to talk about, even though it's retrospect, like cleavage, like for someone who was like
In high school.
yeah,
Child.
even though she's like our age, you know, like we
Yeah.
grew with her, but yeah, and like he's like, don't like my girlfriend's photo. He's like, shut the fuck up, pussy, I'll fuck you up, just like to the point. And I think Dustin cowered, you know, biggest sign of a bitch ever.
Damn.
Yeah, shot.
One of the biggest misconceptions I'd say about Jenny was like she pulled, but she was like the most loyal person ever.
Was she?
And, yeah. So her last boyfriend that I know of before like I stopped talking to her was he's actually dating Britney Spears right now.
I remember him.
That dude.
I know him.
That guy was a
Yeah.
never mind. Tard.
He was a piece of shit. Like he treated her like shit, and then I was that guy who was like, get with me. And like I was like, I'm gonna treat you right. or whatever.
I've been that. I really have.
So I was that dude, and she.
Damn, bro, you're one step away from Britney Spears, is what you're saying?
Pretty much.
2 degrees.
Damn, bro, your price just went up.
Nice.
I know, right? So,
Ladies at home, you single?
yeah,
He's
I am.
single.
He's got a big dick. He could fuck Britney Spears.
Yeah, I mean,
And this guy's good too. He's look at him. He's handsome.
next
Nah.
best thing.
I got nothing.
So
Yeah,
like everyone thought she took all dick, but she didn't. She never did. Like I was with her every day, and she's like, "Oh, she's such a whore." And it's like she wasn't.
I thought she was cute. I remember thinking she was cute.
She was
Yeah.
beautiful. She was a pageant girl too.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's weird to think that now she's fat and engaged.
She's not that fat. She's probably like average, but she had a rockin'
But we
body.
have California standards.
She had a
here.
rockin' body
Yeah.
back in high school.
She was hot. Now she's just normal. Ugh.
She's gonna be a
Yeah.
mom.
Jenny, if you see this, I'm not sorry, but I sent you a message like 4 years ago,
Yeah, you left them on
apologizing. So
I sent the message, but
I wrote it. It came from the heart.
It
and
was
you
from
ignored me.
his heart.
So go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's how it works. I think she deleted me at one point because I was never like a romantic interest. Yeah, we just casually talked. I don't even know how. Again, it was one of those things that she was just on my friends list. One of us said hi to the other, and then we were just like semi friends. And
So
like,
she was a whore.
yeah, for
Wow.
saying hi to me.
How dare she?
Yeah, I thought she was cute. So I was like, that was back in the day. I was like, anyone who will take me, I'll get you, except for you, fish girl. Even though you really want me, I don't want you.
Damn.
Yeah. So back to fish girl. Fuck it, I'll just say her name. I just won't. I already
No
said
one's
her
gonna come
last
after
name.
us or
Yeah,
you.
Yeah, no.
Just say her first name.
Her name's Rachel. So.
Yep, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
That's what I was doing. The Donna,
Yeah.
Donna, Donna, Donna.
Yeah. So Rachel, if you're watching, I still don't like you. I still hate you. In fact, no, I'm kidding. I don't
What
hate
up?
anyone. No, you're all right. Yeah. Anyway, so now it's Thanksgiving. I blew her off again. It blew her off from blowing me off.
I was gonna say she's trying to blow you on, dog.
Yeah, and then so she's still going for the whole like, well, let's hang out this weekend, and I would just play it like, my mom's poor and is a waitress and she can't take me, and my
We can have a date where my mom works if you want. She could pay for the meal. We don't even have to leave a tip. She's cool.
Let's go to
my mom would do
Lupe's.
that actually. I always felt bad, like in retrospect. I'm like, my mom probably like used her tip money that day to feed me. Fucked up.
so sad.
What a shitty kid I was. So she it was just more and more of that, and then, but like I said, I was casually getting roped more in, and then she was going to Israel because she's a member of the tribe, the Jewish tribe. She's going to Israel during like winter break.
Doing her free trip.
Yeah, I think all expenses paid by her dad trip. I think you do that free trip at like 18, right? Or-
I don't
I
know.
think.
I'm not a Jew.
People think I'm a Jew, but I'm not.
I can see it. I'm still debating whether or not you're still Mexican or not. You look.
I'm 1/8 Mexican.
There it
Just
is.
1/8. Yeah.
I can see it.
So we got 0 Mexican, 1/8, 1/2.
There we go. We're just climbing up.
It's
Then we
the
got to get
spectrum.
Oscar on the other side.
100%.
Full
Oscar's
beaner
full.
over there.
Oh man.
Oscar, I love you.
You can
Beaner
say
Who
comes
doesn't?
from the
Who
heart.
doesn't love
Yeah.
Oscar though?
I didn't get offended.
not even
He said
fair.
it. It's okay. It's in his blood.
Yeah, I got the B card, I guess.
Got the B
It's
card?
the green card.
Got the green card. Oh, that's genius.
Yeah,
That's
that was pretty
100% genius.
Yeah, so back to Rachel the fish. So she so yeah, she's trying to hit me up, and then I was finally, I felt really bad for the whole Thanksgiving thing, and I was like, okay, I really should give her a try, stop being judgmental, everyone's done things they're not proud of, this, that, but it was like the combination of like, oh, she smokes weed, and she even told me she occasionally does harder stuff, and she blows dudes, but I'm a virgin, I'm keeping my purity, but I've also done anal at 15. I'm like,
God doesn't count anal.
yeah, the
God-
Supposedly.
the poop hole is a loophole.
You can have sex with their ear canal and their anus, and God's like, that's cool. I'll allow it.
Look the other way.
Yeah, God's super chill with anal.
Yeah, shout out to God if you're watching.
Yeah, shout out to God, the homie, letting high schoolers do anal. That's super chill. We appreciate that. I mean,
Virginity is a social construct.
how crazy is it that like you can get anal before like actual sex? And
I'll get to that.
And God's just like, you're cool.
You are still going to heaven.
God's just like, you chill. And then you're like 25 and like no girls do anal anymore.
It hurts.
So
It does.
disappointing.
I just
Do
hope,
anal.
Hey mom, if you're still watching for the birthday shout out, please just click away.
You should have clicked away. Man.
Yeah,
Marco.
you should have just watched the birthday
Jesus
thing.
Christ. Yeah. Oh my God.
So she, man, sorry I'm dragging the story, but I really,
man.
when I tell stories, I
That's
really try to
content.
be like,
Yeah, we're chilling. I'm drinking beer, and this is all this is supposed to be. So you do
exactly,
you.
yeah. So I really try to be as, like, I don't know, all the facts, everything, all the corners. So winter break's coming up, and now I'm like, oh, actually, I honestly think I have a crush on her. I think I like her. I'm like, I don't know how this happened. 3 months ago, I was repulsed by her, but now, and then, so she's like, hey, here's my temporary phone number because I'm going to Israel. I don't have roaming or whatever, so this is gonna be my phone for the week. I was like, all right, that's cool. And so she'd call me because of the time difference. She'd call me at like 4 a.m. and like occasionally I'd answer, and sometimes I'd just be asleep. And then I just remember I think it was New Year's. I was at my friend Daniel's house. I was just chilling with him for New Year's. Shout out to Daniel.
Daniel who?
Daniel Rivers. Do you remember him?
I do know Daniel Rivers. Shout
like
out Daniel Rivers. He was one of the good ones.
He was.
He was one of the good ones, man.
Motherfucker owns a home and is married.
Nice.
Does he?
Yeah, well, he lives in Idaho, so
Good for him.
Oh,
yeah.
that's easy. Anyone could do it out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but hey, shout out to you,
Yeah,
Daniel.
he was a good dude. He was one of the good ones.
He really was, yeah, and he was my best friend throughout high school. We had like
Good
a
friend
falling
to have,
out
I'm sure.
we had a falling out in like senior year. It was over stupid shit, and like we made up later, like on his way out to Idaho. So I haven't seen him since like senior year. But hey, I love you, Daniel.
It'd be like that.
Yeah, so I was chilling with him, and like she was texting me. She's like, "Guess what I just did?" I was like, "What?" She's like, "I just did
Probably
anal."
blew 2 more homies.
No, she's like, "I just did anal with this guy in Israel." I was like, all right, it's over now. I'm like, okay, I don't give a shit about this chick.
That's
I
insane, dude.
I gave her so many chances. This is the worst part. I was like apparently smarter then than I was 3 weeks later, because like, again, she started making me feel bad because every time she tried to hang out between then and like, I think it was like January 14th or 20th or something like that, I would just blow her off, which is only like 2 or 3 weeks anyway. But finally I felt so bad that I'd like never followed through on like, hanging out with her. And again, like I said, I try to follow through on things I say. Being honest is an important virtue. So I did finally hang out with her. She gave me her address. I remember just looking at like Google Maps, whatever it was, MapQuest back then. 20 what was this, 2012? Yeah, wow, it was a while ago. 2012, like whatever was popular back then. We go up and like fucking my mom pulls up, and like huge gate just in front of her house, like no, not even in front of her house, down a hill, then a gate just for her house. And my mom was like, what the fuck, like this is the nicest house I've ever seen, it's at the top of the hill here in Canaan. And so she like rings the thing, her dad answers and like buzzes us in, and we're just going, it felt like a movie.
Security guard's like, get your broke ass out of here. And the dad comes down and is like, whoa.
What are you driving, a Honda Civic?
Get out.
If your car doesn't cost at least $100,000, you can't come here.
You're weird. You're different.
Yeah, you're poor. So yeah, we're going in, and I just remember, keep in mind, this is like the first time I was like actually meeting her. So I'm going into her big ass mansion, and then she was there, and I was like, oh, she's cute in real life, she's not taking misleading photos. And then we hung out that day. She kissed me with my first kiss ever, and I was like, okay, I forgive the anal. And so,
it tastes like butthole.
Yeah, I don't think she was doing dirty.
Do you eat ass
too? No, not that. Hey, if I'll do whatever you want. Ladies who heard about the 10-inch Tim stories, I'm more than just that.
He a freak in the sheets.
That's right. And I got my own place. So
damn.
Here in Cam. So that was that. Now I'll start skipping around, because then it's just boyfriend girlfriend stuff. I'll skip around to the whole reason I started this thing. She really wanted to film herself blowing me, like really bad. I was like, if my face isn't in it,
you'd be famous as fuck right now if you did, bro. They'd be like, look at that huge dick. The girl's okay, but look at that dick.
Scouting.
Yeah, so I was like, if my face is not in it, that's fine. And I was like, and this is only for you.
Is there a video somewhere of her sucking your dick?
Yeah. Yeah. It's out there. No, and then so she did that, and I was just like, she's like, I'm only doing it for, you know, educational purposes for myself, to see how I do it, what I do, see how I could improve.
Could you imagine? She's I just want to be the best dick sucker ever, and I want to suck your dick and record it. That way I could suck other guys' dicks better. It's like...
I think that was the idea, actually.
That would just crush me.
Yeah,
Do you think she did that to everyone?
No,
she just had a fucking archive. I'll bet. She's got a few.
Well, okay, so
this shows them off to her friends. Look, I suck dick better than you.
I wonder if hoes do that.
They do.
Hoes. I bet, yeah.
They do.
So she was well, next thing I know, I remember there was this creepy dude that was always on her Facebook, and I was like, who is that dude? She's like, that was my friend from Australia. He's 23.
He's my best friend. Yeah. Okay, bitch.
Or like, he's 24, and I'm like, that's really creepy, you know, but you know, you do you. Like, you have your friends. I have internet friends, especially back then. I had like a lot of internet friends.
Always be wary of them.
Yeah, and then but like none of them I would like sext, which well, spoilers. So she would send him creepy. I didn't know this yet, but like she would send him the creepiest. Well, it's creepy if you're 23 and a 15-year-old's doing it. She would send him like things, you know, like her naked, all that sort of thing. And then next thing I know, because I was arguing with him, because he finally like crossed the line like publicly. He was like, "Oh, I want to come all over your Jewish tits." Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's fucking gross.
I got weird so quick.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, what, her tits aren't Jewish.
Whatever the opposite of anti-Semitic is, congratulations, you found it.
He's pro-Semitic.
Yeah, he's pro-Semitic, but he crossed every other line.
Yeah, and like the
Jesus Christ.
Actually, let me take this back a little bit. It wasn't public. She was borrowing. Okay, so
it is now.
Yeah, no, like it's on the end. So she borrowed my phone because her parents wouldn't trust her with her own. Okay, she had her own phone, but they wouldn't trust her with like data. You know what I mean? She could use it for calls. That's it.
But so you live on the top of Canaan.
You're right. Yeah. So she used my phone. I remember she signed out, and then she signed in, and like I have a really easy phone number. Like I won't say it out here, you know, but like
1 2 3 4 5.
Let's just say it's that. So I looked over. And like I saw her typing my phone number because it's just really easy to recognize as her password. So I was like, mental note. And next thing I know, I look over and like that's when I see that message. And like I wasn't trying to just look, you know, I wasn't trying to like spy on her stuff because I think spying's pretty bad. But when all I saw was like Jewish tits, I was like, oh fuck, I gotta read this. And yeah, and the fact is, she was looking at this message, not repulsed, meaning like
she's used to that kind of behavior.
That's what she encourages.
At 15.
Yeah, at 15. And then so she's doing all this, and I'm just like and I can't be like, what was that? So I was like, oh, fuck.
Show me your phone.
Yeah, show me my phone.
Well, I mean, I guess you could have some, you know.
Oh, I need to take that really quick because like my mom, I forgot I told her I'd call her at 1:52.
My mom's got Jewish tits.
No, she does. So so I see that, and I'm like, I can't even confront her about this because like I'm kind of spying when I shouldn't be. And that's when like later I signed on her profile just to get a full read on it. And that's when I like confronted him later, and like way later, that was basically the start to our breakup because like
what, you guys actually dated?
Yeah, we were dating for those 5 months like after she kissed me.
Man.
Yeah, I know. I was smarter in the sense where I was like, this girl's trouble. Homie. Yeah, this girl's trouble. And
some guy in Israel's like, I want to come on your Jewish tits, and you're just like,
no, this is the Australian guy.
I don't think our relationship's gonna make it.
In Israel, it would be, I want to come on your normal tits. he has a Jewish dick, so
that's very true. I want my uncircumcised dick to come on your Jewish tits.
He has a circumcised dick. In Australia,
Jews are circumcised?
Yeah, Jews are circumcised.
I thought they weren't circumcised. I thought that was the thing.
No, they're the ones that cut it. They cut the tip.
All right.
Yeah, that's completely arbitrary.
Yeah.
I've always thought Jews
history lesson.
didn't cut.
No, they're the inventors of cutting the tip.
Mutilating children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to
I've been wrong for 25 years.
It's all good, bro. So I see that, and I think like I confronted him like publicly, like on another thing he commented something semi less creepy.
Hey, bitch.
Yeah, and like I felt so, because I remember I don't get angry like easily, but I remember I was like punching the ground. I was really pissed off because I was like, how do I go about this? How do I confront a guy who's creeping?
Where is it again? Israel, Australia?
Australia. This guy's Australian.
Damn, bro. Did she ever go to Australia?
No.
So she just like fucking sexting some dude?
Yeah, no, she was on some sketchy, like almost like Craigslist like sites, like looking up dudes. Like probably she had a lot of mental issues. She was on a lot of meds. This is why I shouldn't say her last name. Yeah, no. And you know, she definitely, obviously, like if she's blowing dudes just to get some, like, you know, not recognition,
like the satisfaction.
Yeah, just to be like, oh, I'm cool.
Self-worth,
yeah,
or whatever it is.
Yeah, so clearly going on the internet and just being like, who's gonna groom me today? You know, and that was her best groomer, I guess.
The crazy thing is that's still probably happening now, like all around the world.
Oh yeah, all these good girls, they have a secret life online for sure.
Jesus. I was like 24 when I found out about a Finsta.
Oh yeah.
Like
or spams.
My friend.
Yeah, or like those Reddit people have like Reddit accounts, bro, and it's just like. Ooh. Yo, people post some fucking horrendous shit. And it's like, yo, you did this just so it could be in secret?
Right?
Yeah, that's the point.
You're probably not a good person.
And so yes, it's like I'm kind of getting jumbled on the timeline, so I apologize if I go back and forth. But that was basically the downturn of our relationship. So we dated for 5 months. Let's just say that was like month 4. And then I remember I finally did confront her about it, and I had to be like really smart about how I did it. And I just said, like, I just happened to glance.
You should have just been like, hey babe, I want to come on your Jewish tits.
Oh, you've heard that before? Where?
And she'd be like, yeah, daddy. And you're like, no, you broke my heart.
So she so I finally confronted her about that, and then she like deleted the guy, and then I was just like, no, that's like not good enough, like explain yourself. And then her response was, she just sent me like 2 photos of her wrists all cut up with like no context.
I'm sad.
Like, thanks.
Yeah, and I was just like, all right, where the fuck do I go from here? I mean, I know that's exactly what she was trying to do. Like, you can't. I'm depressed. Look.
How do you accuse someone who's trying to commit suicide?
Yeah, exactly. And like, that's really sad. I don't wish that on anyone, but I'm like, that's irrelevant. I didn't say that because I was like, this is what she wants. And I'm
like, that's one of those things where it's like, if you're having an argument and you just bring something out of nowhere that has nothing to do with the argument, and you're like, you're deflecting.
Yeah, exactly.
You're doing the complete opposite of an argument. You're just bringing up something else to distract us.
Yeah, and she clearly knew she was wrong too. So and then like a lot of things went wrong that I saw coming and ignored just because I was like, oh, I'm finally getting blown. I'm finally like, I lost my virginity finally. You know, at 16, I'm cool. And
don't buy the first car you drive, gentlemen.
Yeah, right. So I was pretty naive, and I was pretty, you know, I thought like, oh, this has to be the one. You know, that's just how guys are. Anyone is really, like, first person you like is like that. She's the one. She's your soulmate. And yeah, and so I remember because one last thing happened after that, because there was like a good 3 weeks without that guy, and I was like, finally, like I was happy. And then
okay, I love how you say 3 weeks without that guy, and it just kind of implies the 4th week.
Yeah,
he comes back.
Someone else.
Yeah, and like no, because she came up to me, she's like, hey,
I'm sorry, dog.
Yeah, I know. I had a hard,
we've all been there.
Hard upbringing, bro, with women.
No shit.
So in those 3 weeks, she's like, hey. So the rich girl with a dad who's worth like 40 million or whatever, a lot of money, is coming to me and like, hey,
fight me.
Can I borrow $200? I'm like, well, why? Like a penny for your dad? But like,
here's the weird thing though, because she's probably growing up in a rich ass household. So $200 isn't a lot of money, but her dad's probably cut her off.
Oh yeah, well, like that's the thing, because my favorite quote from her, like this is like, it's a TV show and this is a good quote, is I was 16 at the time, and you know I didn't have money, and like so I didn't have the car to drive her. I just got my license, but I wasn't able to like just go pick her up because I was always borrowing my mom's car. She's like, favorite line ever was like, why don't you just get a car? Like literally, like just press a button, car comes to you. Why don't I just do that?
Yeah.
And I just remember like I let her get away with a lot of bullshit, but I was just like, do you hear yourself right now?
Yeah.
Like,
when they just speak nonsense.
Yeah, I was just like, I mean, I'm not one to be like, you're privileged. Here's your privilege card, but like, oh, you're so rich that you think I could just get a car. She's like, no, that's not what I mean. It's not like that easy for me either. It was for turning 15 and a half. They gave her a brand new Jetta, and they're like, this is a modest car. I'm like, I get that it's not an Audi, which her brother had.
There are some guys at Westlake, they got like a brand new Corvette and like a fucking...
Going to Westlake was hard because of
a GTR.
Shit.
Yeah.
Turned 16 being sophomores, like here's a GTR and a brand new Corvette Stingray.
Could you just imagine like the nicest cars on the market? Literally,
Twins.
I would
To a
kill.
shitty kid.
I would kill for a Corvette Stingray. It's a beautiful fucking car.
Yeah.
Especially when it was the first time
And
they
that's
redid
their
them.
first thing given to them.
That's why she thought she was like modest.
Bro, those people, they don't have a good gauge on reality.
Oh, for sure.
That's why she's fucking dudes in Australia and sexting people in Jerusalem. I'm confused.
Yeah,
It
no,
doesn't matter.
She had butt sex with the Jerusalem guy, sexting the Australian guy. Who the fuck else knows what other continents had her tits on
And
them?
little did she know she had the biggest dick.
She already peaked, and
Already.
she didn't like it. See, I fucked her up for that.
She had already climbed Mount Everest, and she's just like, let's go see if there's a bigger mountain in Australia. Nope. Let's go see if there's a bigger mountain.
Fucking Jerusalem, the Holy Land.
Yeah.
So
More like the
God's
big holy
dick is
land.
the biggest dick.
yeah, when she's there, probably. But
Damn.
so this is where it comes full circle.
This has been a great show. I'm loving it. Keep going.
Thank you. I knew. See, Oscar is a smart man.
Oscar's a genius, bro.
He and I, we were in
so
Gate.
glad.
We were in Gate together. That's
Were
where
you?
Yeah, that's
Gifted
where we,
and talented education.
Yeah, that's where we bonded.
Shout out to my brother Anthony. He was in Gate.
Nice. Shout out to Anthony. Yeah. So yeah, he and I were like the enforcers for the smart people in.
Yeah, dude.
in elementary
Oscar's like crazy smart, but like you wouldn't think of it looking at him because he's
Yeah,
so
no,
quiet.
And not only that, but he's a big dude, and everyone.
Yeah,
everyone
he
says, "Oh,
looks
big."
he looks like a jock.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I love
He
Oscar.
looks like,
I miss that guy.
He looks like a jock, and he could do fucking quantum mechanics in his head.
Yeah.
Fuck him. He's got everything. He's got the looks. He's got the brains.
Yeah, he and I, we bonded over being the only smart kids at Park Oaks. Shout out to everyone who went to Park Oaks. Fuck all you. You guys are stupid. I'm just kidding. Some of them are cool.
You can be cool and stupid.
Yeah, most of them are pregnant if they're women.
All of almost like half of my ex-girlfriends are pregnant now with
Nice.
kids.
With your kids?
No,
Nuh-uh.
thank God. But like more than half have like 2 or 3 kids.
Do any? I mean, I only have 2
So out of
exes.
the 5 of them,
That's 2.5 have a kid.
T-
One's a midget.
well, let's just say 3 has a kid and one of them's a half a kid.
Oh, there we go.
That math breaks down a little easier.
I like it. Yeah. So this is where the full circle comes, because like week 4, I told you in the 3. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. So she's borrowing the $200 so she could get a fake ID so she could get legal weed. Wrap your head around that one. So she wants to get legal weed because she's tired of dealing with sketchy dudes to get weed. But what
you
does
mean
she
because
do?
they keep asking for anal?
Yeah.
but you have to be 21 to get it.
Yeah, and this is my favorite part. So she wants the ID so she doesn't have to deal with sketchy dudes, and borrows $200 from her boyfriend.
I'm gonna cut you off real quick. Don't you have to be only 18 for like the medical
I don't
grade
know.
at that point?
I don't know. This is
You still have to
2012.
pay for it.
Yeah, this is 2012, and she's 15. I don't even know.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, and then so yeah. Let's go through this. So doesn't want to deal with sketchy dudes, so she asks for money from her boyfriend, and then so she gets the money from said boyfriend, and then she goes to the guy, and then he's offering $200 off, the same money her boyfriend gave her, to if she blows him. A sketchy dude that she's trying to avoid, and then she later admitted that she almost took the offer, but I think in retrospect she probably did take the offer. Unfortunately,
Because she took you out to dinner after getting her fake ID.
Yeah,
And paid for everything.
Yeah, well, because I remember after that she was acting so weird, and I was like, I have pretty good intuition. I was like,
It's one of
something's
those things
fucking
where
up.
like if I say I didn't take the offer, you'll never know.
Yeah, exactly. And like back then, I was forcing myself to be naive. So all that. So it's just layers of irony overlapping and just like
With
hypocrisy.
deceit.
Yeah, and like just lies. So I think she blew the guy to get $200 off, even though I gave her $200 so she could get an ID to not have to blow guys anymore. It really is just a cluster, and I'm impressed, honestly. But
It's manipulation at its finest,
yeah,
bro.
right. And dude, if you got a pussy, you can manipulate any guy. So unfortunately, it has magic powers. Who's the most well, actually he's not even in office. I was gonna say who's the most powerful person in America? Not Obama, Michelle Obama. But that's a joke that's 10 years too late
That's
or something.
funny though. It's true. So what's his wife's name?
Ivana, but I don't think she's even real.
Supposedly, Michelle Obama's
Ivanka.
transgender.
Oh yeah, nice.
That just makes Obama more progressive.
Yeah, no,
Who cares?
he should have pulled that card when he was in office.
He's still super fucking democratic. Who cares?
Yeah.
That's a fucking win.
Yeah, for him, that's that would make his stocks go through the roof. He could
Yeah,
run
dude,
for a third term now.
Yeah, he'd be even cooler. Who cares? He's so fucking progressive.
He's dating a trans. He somehow has kids through the trans girl.
Right.
Hey man, when you're the fucking president, you find a way.
That's right. And
Just probably kidnapped him.
so now we got the fake ID. So now here's week 4. So 3 weeks without Australia, dude named Callum. Week 4 happens. I'm just
Callum?
Callum Bond. You guys look him up. He's a pedo. Callum J Bond.
Twitter, do your thing.
Hashtag free the nipple. I don't know. So he like starts showing up again. I was like, and then I texted. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Why is he on your shit again? Like, did you add him? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And then
that's real power when she knows she could do that and just be like, what are you gonna do? Tell me to delete him?
Yeah,
I
right.
will add him when you're not looking.
Yeah, and then like, then it was her birthday. No. Okay. No, sorry. 1 week in reverse. Then I remember I hung out with her, and then a day later happened, or no, that night, she. Okay, back to reverse. That day, she was just like, "Hey, how would you, like, what would you do if I cheated on you?" I was like, honestly, I didn't know she was like warning me at this point, but I was like, honestly,
What a fucking thing to say.
Yeah,
dude.
right. I was like, I'd probably want to forgive you, but probably couldn't, you know. And she's like, "All right, noted." And then,
all right, never mind. What do you mean, never mind?
And then like, so that night, I remember you guys remember Formspring?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, dude, I miss Formspring.
Shit fucked me up.
People would fucking make fun of me so hard, but I kind of welcomed it because I like the trash talk. I respect a good trash talk. So
People fucking hated me in private, bro.
see pussies.
They fucking hated me in private.
They're too big of bitches to say anything to your face, bro.
I guess.
Well, I mean, it's so easy to just be like,
Talk some
"Oh,
shit.
fuck you, Alec. I would fuck you up if we ran into each other," and like sit next to you in math
that
class.
was
You know what
that
I
was
mean?
everything. It was always I just want to fight you so bad.
Fucking do
Everything
it.
was just people wanting to fight me and fucking kill me. It's like,
Jeez, man.
Dope,
What'd
yeah.
you do? Yeah.
I'll tell you off camera for that if you really give a shit. But it's not important.
Yeah.
It's just
You don't have to relive that shit.
Yeah, it's just people being fucking insecure about who they are.
Yeah, for sure.
So
So she anyway, like now I'm arguing with that night, Formspring. I get a bunch of messages at complete random. This was kind of after Formspring wasn't even cool
it's
anymore.
with an
anyway.
accent. It's like, why does this sound vaguely Australian?
No, I got like, "Hey, call your girlfriend," happy face. I was like, "Oh, this is probably one of Rachel's friends, like, oh, she's helping me out or whatever." So I call her. She didn't answer.
Man, fuck the internet, bro.
Yeah, right.
Fuck
It's
the
fucked
whole.
up my life.
Burn it down. Burn it down.
Start over. Let's go back to
Burn
AOL.
it down.
I need it. Keep it.
Fuck the internet.
So she
Fucking Formspring, dog.
so like anonymous Formspring person just like, "Oh, did you call her yet?" And I was like, "Yeah, she didn't answer." And then she's like, and then now it's not anonymous, now it's Rachel's sister. And then she's like, "Hey, call me." Like I was like, "Oh, okay." And
She's like, "Do you want to do anal?" It just
hear
runs
it's
in the
good.
family.
So I call.
My sister says you have a big dick.
I hear the rumors. I've seen the video.
Oh my god.
No, she's just like, "Hey," so I call her. I'm like, "Yo, what's going on?" She's like, "Okay, I'm really sorry, like, but Rachel's like in her room right now having sex with some old dude, like older dude right now." I was like, "What? Are you serious?" Like, I thought she was fucking with me. I was like, "That's crazy. No, well, like your parents would never allow that." It's like, "They're not home." I'm like, okay, that would make sense. They wouldn't be home for that. I was like, I was kind of half believing it, but I was like, she's got to be just messing with me. Like, this is just going to be a horrible, poor taste joke right now. And then,
could you imagine though if all that happened and then she was like, "I'm joking"? That'd still be just as shitty.
yeah, I know. I'd be like, I fucking
Like
hate you.
that's a lose-lose, bro.
For sure. And then, like, that's the worst part. Is like, I was like, this is something she would do. Like, honestly, something I always kind of worried
Just
that
to
she would do.
fucking get you.
Yeah, and then, I was like, how? Like, now it's like slowly coming to me like, oh shit, this is probably real. And so I was like, what about your parents? Oh, they're out. I'm like,
Loki, correct me if you disagree, But shout out to her sister for doing the right thing.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
100%.
Yo, there's nothing more freeing than the truth, yo.
Yeah, I agree. No,
Shout
I
out
totally
to the
agree.
little sister doing the right thing.
Yeah, Serena, if you're watching, I'm sure you are. You got a big fan base on this show. Shout out to you. You're a true homie. And like, she was cool. Like, she was 14, so it's like too young to go for. But
You're single now.
yeah, right.
Yeah, you're single now, and she's probably at least 18.
No, yeah, 3 years difference. What am I? 25, 22. All right, hit
What's
me up,
up?
Serena.
Serena, what's good? If your sister does anal, you could do all three of us.
What's up?
Yeah, Eiffel Tower.
What?
You want to try that? So, no, that's the worst part. She
With
was
an extra support beam.
She was the better looking one of the two. Like, Rachel would admit that. Like, she did admit that. And at the time, I'm like, no, she's not. But after, I was like, oh, yeah, she was. I mean, like, even though she was 14, I was like, I could tell she's going to grow into a woman. And you're just a turd.
You're just
So,
Oh my
Yeah, so
God.
I'm getting this information from Serena. And like you said, like, that was a really ballsy thing to do, especially because, like, I gotta live with this girl. And she's going to be pretty pissed off at me for fucking, like, ratting her out. But, nothing. That's a sign of a good person. Yeah, she deserves a lot of credit
it's
for that.
just I mean, yo man, when to do the right thing, yeah. I mean, that's all it is. Like it's hard to do the right thing.
Oh,
so
for sure.
fucking
It's easy to ignore things. It's easy to keep quiet. So
yeah, bro.
Yeah. So I forget. She's like, oh my god, I gotta go. Like, I assume like stopped humping for a second, and then like I get a call from like Rachel, and she's like crying, admitting what she did because I guess Serena's like, parents are coming home, you better leave, and the guy like booked it. That again, like this is like a 23-year-old, 22-year-old. I found out 22 and she's 15. Like to invite, I don't know, like that guy over and be like, yeah, it's just me and my even younger sister. That's really irresponsible.
Chris Hansen, please have a seat.
Yeah.
So she's just like, oh, crying, like not because she feels bad, but because she got caught. Yeah, exactly. And like
100%.
and then it just obviously spiraled from there. Like because I'm a dumbass, I wanted to keep it going, and it only lasted one more week before I think she was doing it again, honestly. And
Once a cheater, always a cheater.
yeah, because she's being all weird. I'm trying so hard to like just make this work. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, my first relationship, even though I was cheated on, which, oh God, I'm disgusted with myself that I did it. But I was 16 at the time. I'll give myself a little break. But she's being all weird, and then this is where I like busted out the knowledge from earlier. I signed back onto her Facebook because her password was my phone number, and it still worked. And I saw the conversation she was having with.
Dude, okay, can we just pause for a second? How fucking crazy is that? Where your dick is so big. She kept your phone number as her password.
It's pretty good. Well, I mean, that was the first time I ever.
Have you tried to log in recently?
No.
Yo, dude,
See if it's still the
That'd be funny.
congratulations.
That'd be. Oh, sorry. That'd be so-
Congratulations, dog.
Yeah, and then,
you did it.
Yeah, so I logged in because
God.
like she was treating me so poorly. I was like, what is this? And then I saw her conversations like congruent with like me.
is
And
nuts.
she's talking to Australia guy, and then her even sluttier friend, and she was like bragging about like the guy she banged, whatever. And she cheated because I wasn't good at sex. I was like, bitch, you're the first time I ever banged. Like, I'm not gonna be good.
Also, what a shitty thing to say.
Yeah, right. And then like, so she's like, yeah, this new guy, he's so experienced. Like, no shit, he's a 23-year-old or whatever. And then he choked me and blah 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 this that, and like, so I just like screenshotted all the conversations and sent them to her dad. Which is like the best revenge I could fucking think of. And yeah, and that's when it was over, obviously. But the real come full circle thing is like that Callum guy. I remember he and I were
No
arguing.
pun intended. Sorry, come full circle.
He and I were arguing, and like he's like, real quick before we continue arguing, you have the dick of a fucking porn star. Can you send me another video, please? I was like, what the fuck? Like at first I was like, what's this bitch talking
said
about?
that?
Callum, like the Australian dude. Like he and I were just
So
arguing.
this dude fucks your girl and is just like, yo,
No, it wasn't the same
let me
guy.
see your dick again.
The guy who banged her, I unrelated as far as I could tell. He was still in Australia. But yeah, no, he's like, dude, you are fucking gifted. And again, like, I just thought maybe she told me that, but I just thought maybe she was just being nice, like just I had nothing to, like, no frame of reference. Yeah, and then so she,
Goddamn.
so I was like, so like she sent my video to people is what I'm like getting at. I'm like, so I guess my pornography is just on the fucking internet, but thankfully,
Good child pornography.
child pornography, and thankfully
She solicited child porn.
Yep, my face isn't
That's
in it.
a clusterfuck, man.
Hers is, so I could play dumb. That's not me, even though this is on a podcast now. I'm gonna have to ask that you
It's still
don't
on you.
release this. Yeah,
Still on you.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah,
She, like you said, she could have done it with a bunch of other guys.
yeah. So
So she could have been
That's
with a
some
bunch
other-
of guys who had a ton of big dicks.
it's
Maybe
just like-
maybe you're not the biggest one. There's always
There's
plausible
always a bigger
deniability.
fish.
that, I like to hope that
No
I
bigger
was.
fish than her, apparently.
You're right. Oh, her ocean. It's wide open for
Her
fish.
ocean was pretty
She's
fucking
named after a fish, so oh god. Yeah, so that was that story. Bitch girl. So you said you know of this girl. What stories do you know?
I mean, those involve other names that I don't want to say on the
Okay,
podcast. So
okay.
I'll
People
tell
we
you offline.
respect. All right.
Yeah, people I actually care about. So I'll tell you offline if you want to
Okay.
know. But
Yeah.
that's even assuming if I got the last name right, because I still think there's a good chance I got the wrong person in my head.
I honestly she was pretty notorious. Like I found out later, people
Well,
like.
the Donna, 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 Donna. Does that not ring a bell?
I mean, that's a Jaws theme, isn't it? That's not
It
her
is.
last name's not Jaws.
It's not her last name, but she was known as the Shark.
I did not know of that nickname, but it wouldn't surprise me.
All right, we'll talk off. We'll
Okay.
talk offline.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I'd hate to be the guy who does it, but unless you got anything else to say, man,
Maybe
I think this is a great place to end it if you got everything out of the way.
If you guys will have me again, I'll be
We
telling you.
will bring you back, bro. We got apparently a ton more to listen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't even get to any of the Tinder stories, bro. So this is just
I know,
a
man.
life
So these are-
non-Tinder story.
These are great, but
Yeah, you know what? I'll save it for round 2, 3, 4, whatever.
Hell
I
yeah.
don't want to blow my load this early yet.
You're no two pump chump.
That's
well,
I have been.
Wow.
Not right now.
shit.
I mean, like I said, I regrew my virginity in the past few months because it's just been a dry season with COVID. So at this point, I probably am two pump chump, if that.
I didn't know you can regrow your virginity.
Yeah, it's a common misconception.
Once again, it's a social construct, so I mean, it doesn't really exist in the first place.
That's right.
go ahead and plug any.
Yeah, if you have anything to plug, now's the time to do it.
Go ahead and do it.
Gosh, I don't know if.
If you want people to follow you
just
on your
like
social
your
media,
Yeah, I
Instagram.
guess. My Instagram is that's solid E Jake. The E is silent, so just solid Jake with an E after solid. If you want to follow me, I'll follow back. I promise. You can see all the pictures of.
are you the meme lord?
No, I'm not actually. Everyone sends me memes. I just kind of send them around, but I just post pictures of me and my dog. Really,
Nice.
I have a French bulldog. She's cute. You guys should check her out. That's it. I'm sure I'm on a voice actor site. I'm sure they don't want to associate with these stories. So, yeah, I'll tell you the voice actor stories later. Yeah, I'm in a
go,
feud. I was in a feud with a voice actor. But you know what? That'll be Jacob's
Episode
Sturgis
2.
That's part 2.
Write them down. The crazy thing is, every time we have someone, they're like, "Oh, I want to get to this," and it's like, "Write it down, man. Remember it for next time, because
Yeah.
like, we'll get you."
Yeah.
Dude, it's weird sitting still for like 2.5 hours or whatever.
But look,
my ass is non-existent at this moment.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, until we get like people who are like actually like, if we reach out to people and then them like, oh yeah, sure. And we're just gonna cycle through like local people.
Yeah, that's cool.
Basically.
I mean, besides school and work, I'm pretty much available. I don't really hang out with anyone anymore.
No one
You
does.
see, fake friends, you're
We're not
out.
supposed to.
I'll be your guys' real friend.
Hey,
Cool.
I mean, you're cool with Oscars, so I mean,
I
Yeah.
love Oscar, man. I miss that
if
guy.
Oscar says you're cool, take his word for it.
There we go.
Might as
I
well
believe
be-
Oscar.
Might as well be friends.
I believe Oscar too. I thought I wasn't cool till he said it. So that's right.
He's got the sauce, man. Josh, you want to take us out?
Well, thank you, Jacob, for being here.
Thank you so
course.
much, man. This has been a great fucking
No
podcast.
problem. You guys placed it there.
So good, man. So fucking good.
Thank you guys.
Double crossed handshake.
I've never been on a podcast, so this was fun. I've always wanted to be on, but I didn't really ever know anyone who had one. So I appreciate you guys having me
Well,
on.
now you have been, and you will be back.
We are the
Thank
two
you.
dudes drinking beer. I am Josh.
I'm Alec.
I'm Jacob.
That's Jacob. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. Buy the merch. It's in the description below. We're wearing it right now. Alec is. He's got a shirt on. I got my tank top. This tank top only comes in pink large. I'm kind of pissed. But it's besides the point.
The face masks don't prevent COVID-19, but buy one anyway.
Code 2DDB for free shipping at checkout until the 19th. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for hanging out with us.